I was once the Grandmaster of the Empyrean Alliance, a force that dominated the world. The greatest masters of this age were all my disciples, but for the minor offense of accidentally shattering the immortal dynasty's national protection array, I was besieged by an army led by my own students. They even raised banners proclaiming "Slay the Demon Lord, protect our lands." To this, I just gave a bored yawn. Such a grand spectacle. Sukai, do you covet my power that much? Just then, an ethereal Buddhist chant echoed around us. Senior brother Sukai, there is no need to deploy your army just yet. This demon lord once enlightened my path. As long as he returns the stolen sacred treasure of our faith, this humble monk can, out of gratitude for that old kindness, spare his life. I guiltily averted my gaze. I already traded all that stuff to those old landlords for gold coins. How am I supposed to give it back to you? But before I could finish, a fist of golden Buddhist light slammed down in front of me. Chikong, his eyes blazing with fury, roared, "Demon Lord, your life is forfeit." A terrifying explosion thundered across the sky. The mere shockwave caused the ground to crack and splinter. I blocked Chikong's fist with a single finger. A fine punch, but martial arts alone won't be enough to kill your master, you know. Just then, a purple tentacle suddenly rested on my shoulder. Immediately, several more materialized from thin air, binding me tight. A young, green-clad girl holding a red umbrella and wearing wooden clogs quietly appeared behind me, her lips parting softly. "Dearest master, your fate is sealed. I have come to escort your soul to the underworld." Hearing this, I couldn't help but chuckle. "So you know physical attacks are useless and decided to seize my soul directly?" Seeing this, the nearby Jikong was overjoyed. "Yiling, well done." He summoned an artifact shaped like a pencil lead and slammed it into my chest. "Demon Seal, Infinite Void." I looked at the pencil lead in my chest with some surprise. "Good disciple, you've learned to hide your tricks. This demon seal is quite unexpected, I must say." Just as I was about to pull it out, another familiar voice rang out. "Oh my, how did Master get captured? Be gentle, all of you. Don't damage his body." I was hoping to refine his corpse into a puppet to keep in my chambers and serve day and night. The sect master of Rishinman gently caressed the provocative mark on her abdomen. "I've been saving myself just for you." I looked awkwardly at the newcomer. "It's very thoughtful of you to remember me." Iron Hammer. Lee-chan fought back the urge to kill. "My name is Ichan, not Iron Hammer." Seeing four of my devoted disciples at once, I couldn't help but shed tears of relief. "Your sentiments have truly moved your master. A pity your senior sister doesn't seem to share your devotion." "Chu Sheng, I've given you countless chances. For the sake of the world, I will not spare your life today." I lowered my head and sighed softly. "It seems your master is truly done for. My lovely disciples, do as you will. Your master will offer no resistance." Qi Xiaoxiao's eyes filled with disbelief. "Are really? Master, you're finally giving up?" I flipped her the middle finger and made a face. "Of course not." As if I could ever lose. My body rapidly dissolved into a phantom. Logging off. "See ya." Seeing only the lonely demon seal left behind, the four of them exclaimed in unison. "He vanished." Lee-chan frowned in annoyance. "He escaped even from that. Master is truly formidable. It's been hundreds of years." "Senior sister, do you think we can ever catch him again?" Not hearing a response, Lee-chan turned to look. Qi Xiaoxiao was biting her lip, aggrieved, as tears streamed down her face. Lee-chan quickly stroked her head. There, senior sister, be good. Don't cry." Jikong and Yiling also came over to console her, but Qi Xiaoxiao only cried harder. Lee-chan sighed. "She's so obviously in love with him but refuses to admit it. Pride is a truly destructive thing." Meanwhile, in a bedroom somewhere, I leaned back and stretched. A week ago, a game called Almighty Cultivator had popped up on my computer. At first, I thought it was some trashy clickbait, but then I found out. This game claimed you could romance every female character, and completing all quests would grant a mysterious grand prize. Though the girls were my type, to sate my curiosity, I used every trick in the book. I'd stage hero saves the damsel scenes to boost affection. When it was maxed out and she confessed, I'd reject her flatly and move to the next target, leaving her completely baffled. Countless other examples. Good thing it was just a game, or I'd have been executed 800 times over. This damn game was long, tedious, and had no save function. If not for the grand prize, I never would have grinded for 7 days straight. Full of anticipation, I clicked the reward. Let's see it. A house, a car, cash. Congratulations. You have won the grand prize, a journey of transmigration to become an almighty cultivator. Ding! You will be transported into the game world with a golden core cultivation level to experience a true cultivator's life. I stared at the screen in horror. Are you trying to get me killed? But the system gave me no time to react. Transmigration channel activated. Please hold on tight. Next stop, the Empyrean Alliance. The moment the voice fell, a terrifying force sucked me into the screen. I'm so dead when I get back there. A moment later, I was retching violently in the inner courtyard of the Empyrean Alliance. I leaned against a wall, complaining, "Couldn't you make this a bit more user-friendly? This is worse than a 2-hour roller coaster." Ding! Slight turbulence during spatial travel is normal. Our apologies. Host, I didn't bother arguing. So, where am I? This place looks awfully familiar. According to our navigation, Host is currently in the inner courtyard of the Empyrean Alliance. Hearing this, I erupted. "You goddamn system. You brought me to a place where those four will kill me on sight. Send me back." Ding! To return to your world, Host must first cultivate to the Mahayana stage and unlock the myriad world's translocation hesitation function. The noise attracted the patrolling disciples. I broke out in a cold sweat and scrambled over the wall into the next courtyard. If she found out, I wouldn't even have a corpse left. But as I looked up, I saw a beautiful, well-endowed girl in a bath towel walking towards me. Our eyes met. We both froze. This is it. I'm really done for. Goodbye, cruel world. And Ran was shocked to find someone in her room. She backed away. Who are you? What do you want? I scratched my head, sweating. If I said I was transported here from another world, would you believe me? The absurd explanation made Ran tremble with rage. The spirit sword behind her began to hum. The next second, she lunged, sword aimed at my head. Pervert, die. I barely dodged and tried to explain, but she was too furious to listen. Alright, you asked for it. I saw an opening, leaped forward, and wrapped my arms around her waist. Then, with a flick, I snatched away her only covering, the bath towel. I waved it tauntingly. Go on, what are you gonna do now? Based on my game experience, the people here were very conservative. She'd surely let me escape to avoid being seen. But Ran just stood there silently. She didn't cover herself or chase me as I'd expected. Fine, I'll up the ante. Weren't you so fierce with that sword? Why the hesitation? If you don't do something, I'm taking this with me. Suddenly, the hand holding the sword surged with spiritual energy. Give it back. That towel was expensive. The naked girl, wreathed in azure energy, swung her sword. Isn't that the torrential collapse from the water spirit sword art? Just as the thought crossed my mind, a massive vortex of water crashed towards me. I dove aside, narrowly avoiding it. The water spirit sword art was a technique I'd created, the only water-based one with a high burst, instant start attack. It was famous for its power, but as its creator, I knew its fatal flaw. Its terrifying power was only at full strength on the first strike. Each subsequent blow was weaker. Most were too intimidated by the initial blast to realize that after dodging the first few attacks, even a mortal could block the rest. At that moment, her spirit sword began to crack. Before her disbelieving eyes, it shattered into 1,000 pieces. I released the hilt and dusted off my hands. Looks like you bought a fake. Before I could finish, a slap sent me flying. You perv, what did you do? That was the spirit sword abyss. I paid a fortune for it, and Ran grabbed my collar, shaking me. How are you going to compensate me? The sect exams are in 7 days. Without a sword, how can I beat Zhang Yuhang from the outer sect? I silently draped the towel over her head. I don't have money now, but I promise I'll find a way to pay you back. If we make more noise, we'll attract unwanted attention. Hearing this, and Ran finally turned away, blushing. This man destroyed my spirit sword with ease. His power is immense, and now I have leverage. This could be an opportunity. She held up a finger. I'll let you go, but besides the sword, you have to promise me one more thing. In 7 days, the Empyrean Alliance holds its disciple examination. The champion's prize is a high-grade spirit sword. The format is 2-on-2 combat. My heart sank. Don't tell me you want to. And Ran grabbed my collar again. That's right. I want you to help me win. Seeing my hesitation, and Ran frowned. What? You're not willing? It's not that, but maybe you should get dressed before we continue. And Ran stiffened, pointed at me, and yelled, turn around. I obeyed, though my eyes tried to peek. Geez, so stingy when I've already seen it all. And Ran whipped her head around. What was that? Nothing, just expressing my gratitude for your generosity. And Ran huffed and pulled on her black stockings. Smooth talker, the sword is one thing, but you'll also compensate me for the furniture you broke tonight. Why? You're the one who broke it. And Ran sneered, dangling a token. Because you snuck into my room. With my status, reporting this to Alliance Master Chi would be a simple matter. I stared at the token. An Empyrean order? I only made 3 of those. Besides myself and Chi Xiao Xiao, the only other holder is, I sighed. So, it's you, the chief disciple of the Empyrean Alliance. And Ran coiled her hair. So you, a blind pervert, actually know my name. Compensation is settled. What about the tournament? Do you agree? Of all the rooms, why hers? If she reports me to Chi Xiao Xiao, I'm dead. She has me cornered. I'll agree for now and run later. But as soon as I agreed, she locked me in the storage room. The seal will break at dawn. I'll wait for you at the training grounds. Wait, what about the bathroom? At least leave a blanket. I sat dejectedly in a corner. To think that Dao Mingzi, peerless just hours ago, would end up like this. The movement knocked over a basket. The clothes inside caught my eye. The fashion in this world is surprisingly modern. As I studied her style, the damn system appeared. I never knew the trash host had such a fetish. Startled, I punched it. Ouch. Host, you have no grace. I'm your almighty cultivator system, you know. I grabbed its face and stretched it. You dare talk about grace? Do you know the danger I'm in? Why don't you show me some grace? The system rubbed its head. I gave you a golden core cultivation, didn't I? What more do you want? That made me laugh. This game only has postnatal, prenatal, grandmaster, and immortal ranks. Where does golden core fit in? Furious, I pulled the panties over the system's head. The people hunting me are immortal kings and divine saints. What good is a pathetic golden core? No, I can't wait. I have to run tomorrow. The next day, the seal broke. I disguised myself as a bush and crept towards the exit, as if I'd go to the training grounds, and Ran is so naive. Then I saw a crowd ahead. What's going on? My inner nosy Parker took over, and I changed direction. In the crowd, a red-haired punk postured with a rose. Ran, you sure you don't want to team up with handsome me? We'd be a match made in heaven. And Ran looked at Zhang Yuhang with disgust. So annoying. I've rejected him 10 times, and he still persists. She turned to leave, tossing a cold get lost over her shoulder. Enraged, Zhang Zhang Yuhang blocked her. Don't push your luck. The Zhang family could cut off the Empyrean Alliance's funding tomorrow. The Alliance Master wouldn't be pleased with you then. And Ran fumed. This scumbag only knows how to abuse his power. I need to get rid of him. Her eyes scanned the crowd and locked onto me, holding a branch, trying to sneak away. The next second, she was behind me. You'd better explain yourself. Seeing her so close to me enraged Zhang Yuhang. Ran, who is he? And Ran turned with a brilliant smile. Sorry, I can't team up with you. I've already decided to partner with my Dao companion, junior brother Qin Shou. Zhang Yuhang was crushed. What did you say? And Ran pulled me through the crowd. There you have it. Goodbye. Zhang Yuhang spoke grimly to the old man behind him. Find out everything about this Qin Shou. He dared to steal my woman. He's a dead man. Elsewhere, I was forced to press a bloody handprint on a contract. Why blood? Don't you people have ink pads? Because you can't be trusted. This is a blood contract. My heart skipped a beat. A blood contract? Sounds like something from a demonic sect. Congratulations. You guessed it. This is the Heart Demon Blood Oath, imported from a demonic sect by Alliance Master Chi. If you break it, your meridians will reverse, and you'll die on the spot. I'll front the registration fee. You can pay me back later. Crap, now I really can't run. Never mind the consequences of Qi Xiao finding out. A golden core cultivator like me would be courting death in a life or death tournament. Wait, golden core? Based on the novels I've read, sect disciples are mostly in the Qi refining or foundation establishment stages. Even if the Empyrean Alliance is a top-tier power, my golden core cultivation should be stronger than the average disciples. No, wait, a rich kid like that pipsqueak definitely has treasures that let him fight above his level. I quickly found a deserted corner. Hey, useless system, wake up. How can you sleep at a time like this? Got any powerful defensive gear for me? Or just give me some cash so I can buy it myself. The system puffed out its chest. No problem. The almighty cultivator system will satisfy the host's needs immediately. Ding! System quest unlocked. Quest 1. Slap the Zhang family's ancestor. Quest 2. Randomly lift a female cultivator's skirt. Choose one to complete. I puffed out my chest righteously. Do I, Chu Sheng, look like the kind of person who would do quest 2? Reward for completion, 100 spirit stones. 3 minutes later, I held out my hand to the system, a fresh handprint on my cheek. Done. Give me the money. A short while later, I held a golden shield, looking suspiciously at the shopkeeper. Are you sure this thing can block attacks from anyone below the prenatal realm? Of course it can. Rest assured, our shop has a 10 times compensation for fakes policy. A pleasant clink interrupted the shopkeeper. I stared speechlessly at the fragments in my hand. Are you sure this thing is quality controlled? I barely touched it, and it shattered. The shopkeeper snatched the shield from the counter. This one might have had a forging defect. He then produced an exquisite spirit sword. Please understand, sir, defects happen. It's only human. Why not take a look at this spirit sword? I gave it a few swings. Dissatisfied. I need defensive gear. What am I supposed to do with a sword? Don't underestimate this Earthspire sword. It not only provides an automatic protective barrier but can also withstand a full power strike from a first-level prenatal expert. The shopkeeper and I stared in silence at the half-sword sticking out of the counter. You can't be this lazy even if you're trying to rip me off. How? This is impossible. The shopkeeper wiped his cold sweat, trying to remain calm. Sir, please don't be hasty. If there's a problem with any of these next items, you can take anything in the shop for free. I focused on my standoff with the crooked merchant, completely unaware that someone was spying on me from the next room. In the Zhang family's pavilion, Zhang Yuhang's gaze darkened as he scanned the scroll in his hand. He then slammed it at the old man. You can't even find out his identity? What's the use of a good-for-nothing like you? The old man quickly knelt. Young master, calm your anger. I've checked all the disciples of the Empyrean Alliance. There's no one named Qin Shou. Just as Zhang Yuhang was about to continue scolding him, someone rushed in frantically. Young master, it's terrible. Someone is wrecking the shop. Zhang Yuhang looked at him like he was an idiot. Wrecking the shop? The store is filled with top-grade weapons and armor. Use them for defense. Are you afraid of someone wrecking the shop? But that person, he really smashed all the weapons and armor in the shop. Zhang Yuhang couldn't believe someone dared to cause trouble at his place. He rolled up his sleeves, ready for a fight. Young master, don't be rash. That person must be a master. You might get hurt if you go yourself. He grabbed his subordinate and roared. So what if he's a master? If I don't go, are you expecting a coward like you to handle it? Just then, an old man appeared behind him. The kid is right. That person can easily destroy the artifacts I forged. Your cultivation is indeed no match for him. A scar-faced subordinate pointed at the old man and cursed. Where did this old geezer come from, daring to be so disrespectful to our young master? But before he could finish, Zhang Yuhang kicked him hard in the back of the knee. Idiot! Kneel! He then quickly turned and bowed to the old man. Junior Zhang Yuhang pays his respects to the elder. Meanwhile, downstairs in the forge, I was slapping the 10 times compensation sign on the wall and yelling, it's one thing to trick me with a pile of junk, but where's the 10 times compensation you promised? Did you swallow it? The manager collapsed weakly on the floor. You've smashed everything in the shop. Sir, I really have nothing left to compensate you with. I pointed to an exquisite chest in the distance. What's in that box? The manager looked where I was pointing, startled. That's the shop's prized treasure. It's not for. Before he could finish, I grabbed the box. How do I know you're not trying to fool me? Let me see. The shop's prized treasure must be good. It'll be perfect as compensation for my losses. boxes, but when I saw what was inside, my excited expression instantly fell. Isn't this the trash equipment I threw away ages ago? How did it become a prized treasure? Just then, the hastily arrived Zhang Yuhang roared, "Seize him!" Before I could react, I was held by two muscular men. Zhang Yuhang looked at me with surprise. "I was just wondering where to find you, and you delivered yourself to my doorstep." He took out a dagger and licked it with a smile. "Today, I'll relieve you of your troubles. Then, you can only watch from the sidelines as I'm with Ran Ran." Zhang Yuhang chuckled sinisterly as he slowly approached me. "Once I've dealt with it, I'll send it back to you as a souvenir." The words sent a chill down my spine. I thrashed my limbs, trying to break free. "You sicko, get the hell away from me." In the struggle, my foot connected squarely with Zhang Yuhang's chin, sending him flying back to the second floor. Seeing the young master turned into a human kite, one of the thugs let go to rush to his aid. Seizing the opportunity, I snatched the mask from the ground and bolted for the exit. Just then, a terrifying aura suddenly trapped me. "You wrecked my shop and hit Yuhang. Where do you think you're going?" The moment the words fell, a purplish-red fireball was already hurtling towards my back. At the last second, I held up the ghost-faced mask in front of me. Boom! A massive cloud of dust shattered all the doors and windows in the building. But when the smoke cleared, not only was I uninjured, but my clothes weren't even dirty. The old man's eyes narrowed. He blocked my attack without a scratch. "Is it the effect of that artifact?" He erupted with an even more terrifying aura. "Today, I'll see how many of my attacks you can take." Meteor flame devouring star claw. Vast spiritual energy coalesced into the shape of a claw and shot towards my face. But the next second, Ran suddenly appeared, blocking the attack with her sword. No private fights within the Empyrean Alliance. The old man pondered for a moment before finally dissipating the spiritual energy around him. Having survived, I grabbed Ran's leg. "You have to protect me. If I die, no one will pay you back." Ran expertly grabbed my collar. "I was just gone for the time it takes to register, and you've already provoked a Zhang family elder?" It was them. They sold me a room full of fakes, cheated me out of millions of spirit stones, and then tried to kill me when I complained. Ran's hand, gripping my collar, trembled. "Millions of spirit stones. Senior, if what he says is true, then I suggest you follow the rules and give me the spirit stones immediately. I mean, give them to junior brother Qin Zhou." The old man's face turned grim. "Do you really want to make an enemy of the Zhang family? Don't forget who supports the Empyrean Alliance." Ran caressed her sword. "This is millions of spirit stones. Forget making an enemy of the Zhang family. I wouldn't hesitate to use the power of the Empyrean Order for this." Seeing the girl's money-grubbing expression, I knew I couldn't rely on her. I had to think of a way out myself. Just then, Zhang Yuhang landed nearby, a brush and paper conveniently at hand. An idea just came to me. At this moment, Ran and the Zhang elder were locked in a standoff, paying no attention to me. Just as they were about to make a move, a brazen voice interrupted them. "Hey, old fossil, look over here." I held up the freshly written IOU and shouted, "Your young master has voluntarily written an IOU. Get 3 million spirit stones ready and send them over soon." The Zhang elder was dumbfounded. Is this something a human being would do? But I didn't care. I gestured to Ran, and we turned to run. "I risked my life to help you this time. We have to split the spirit stones 70-30. You want 30%? It's me 70, you 30. The Zhang elder stood his ground, not giving chase. "Take Yuhang back for treatment first. The Zhang family's possessions are not for just anyone to take. This boy, he'll serve as a vessel for the ancestors' revival." After leaving the Zhang family's forge, Ran dragged me back to take a bath. Normally, I wouldn't refuse such a good offer, but what I couldn't understand was, why are we bathing together? "I'm doing this to protect you. You're not you anymore. You're 3 million spirit stones. Once I get that money, I can temporarily stabilize the Empyrean Alliance's finances. It should be enough to hold out until Master comes out of seclusion." Just then, Ran waved her hand, pulling me back as I tried to sneak away. "So, until the tournament, you are not to leave my sight." I helplessly shook the chain. With my golden core cultivation, it was indeed difficult to escape the Empyrean Alliance. Besides, if I just swaggered out and Qi Xiao found me, I'd die a horrible death. Suddenly, an idea flashed in my mind. I quickly pulled out the ghost-faced mask. This was just some junk equipment I used when I was starting out, but it had the function of shielding spiritual energy. But why could it block an earthly immortal's attack? Did the Zhang family upgrade this thing to max level? So I called out the system. "Do you have a function to scan equipment stats? Check if this mask's stats are different from before." The system puffed out its chest and huffed. "Sorry, trash host. This system has not yet unlocked the scanning function." Hearing this, my face darkened. "What's the use of you if you can't even do that?" "It's not my fault I lost a lot of data. The strain of bringing you through the transmigration was too great." "Oh, so sorry. Should I just transmigrate back so you can recover?" Is the trash host thinking of giving up halfway? Since you accepted the transmigration package, you have to see it through. I looked down, smiled bitterly, and sighed. In this world of gods, ghosts, demons, and devils, a weak golden core like me would be lucky just to survive. Seeing this, the system wagged its finger. "Actually, it's not impossible to increase your cultivation." I immediately grabbed the system and started patting it down. "I knew you were hiding something. Now, you're going to help me cultivate." After a crisp slap, I was finally kneeling obediently on the ground again. The method I'm talking about is to retrieve your lost game data. Your game data is scattered across the continent, mostly in places you've been before. So, to get get it back. You'll have to beat this real-life game again. This instantly filled me with confidence. There's no game in this world that I, Chu Sheng, can't beat, let alone a second playthrough. By the way, didn't I complete the Slap the Ancestor quest? Where's my reward? I said slap the ancestor, not the elder. I was about to ask what the difference was when a terrifying spiritual power suddenly erupted from the mask. Hee. After so many years, these young pups have finally found a suitable vessel. Little devil, are you ready to offer up your body? I'll show you what a true master of the dark arts is. And Ran hastily wrapped herself in a towel and stood in front of me. A master, million, no, Qin Shou, get behind me. The Zhang family's ancestor cackled madly and unleashed several black flames. None of you will escape. And Ran meant to block with her sword, but the black flames passed right through and entered her body. It hurts. This is a direct attack on the soul. Before she could finish, and Ran collapsed, unconscious. No, senior sister, beat him and then pass out. The Zhang ancestor swung another black flame at me. Boy, dare you face my black flames? Too scared, are you? Then wait to have your soul burned away and become my Zhang Yuga's vessel. The moment the black flame entered my body, I started screaming my lungs out. But after screaming for a while, I realized this black flame looked fierce, but I didn't feel any pain at all. Could it be because I'm a transmigrator and don't have a soul from this world? Zhang Yuga didn't know this. He thought my soul was just too weak, and that's why I went quiet so quickly. So he transformed into soul energy and flew towards me, laughing. You little brat, this body is now mine, Zhang Yuga's. But upon entering my sea of consciousness, Zhang Yuga was stunned. Why is there nothing in this brat's sea of consciousness? Is he an idiot? Just then, a pair of small, delicate hands suddenly patted his shoulder. Zhang Yuga's but clenched in fear. He spun around and unleashed several black flames. Good boy, so you were trying to lure me in and ambush me. Taste my soul-scorching black flame. But this time, the black flames were slapped into the ground by the system before they even got halfway. Zhang Yuga stared dumbfounded at the humanoid system. Wait, why is your soul a woman's? Are you a crossdresser? I executed a perfect flying kick, sending the old man flying 800 meters. You're the crossdresser. Your whole family are crossdressers. Zhang Yuga stood up, his gaze dark. Don't think you're so great just because you have two souls. I can take on both of you and send you flying. I crossed my arms and snorted in disdain. Old fossil, you've got sharp eyes. You've spotted the only path to your doom. Looking at the familiar face before him, Zhang Yuga's CPU completely crashed. Isn't that Dao Mingzi, the one who brought chaos to the world 1,000 years ago? Did he possess this kid beforehand? But the next second, he heard my confused voice. How did I change back to my original form? Thud. The Zhang family's ancestor, Zhang Yuga, failed to recognize a great power. Zhang Yuga slid on his knees and prostrated before me, shouting, Lord Dao Mingzi, please spare my life. I looked at the old man in surprise. The Zhang family's ancestor, why are you inside the mask? This humble one's cultivation was too low. To preserve my life, I sealed my soul within the mask after death. Just as Zhang Yuga finished explaining, I slapped him across the face. This time it's the right one, right? Give me the reward. The system huffed and threw a golden orb at me. Lucky you. Here's your quest reward. Congratulations. Host, you have obtained a divine artifact, the Myriad Soul Banner. I stared blankly at the flag in my hand, then angrily threw it on the ground. You call a pair of underpants the Myriad Soul Banner? Believe it or not, I'll rip that banner off you too. I frowned at the skull on the underpants. This pattern does feel strangely powerful and familiar. I shouldn't judge by appearances. Let's give it a try. But when I channeled my spiritual energy and waved the pole, 2 notifications popped up. Ding! Using this item consumes 100,000 spirit stones. Host has insufficient spirit stones. Please recharge in time. 100,000 spirit stones. My ass. Why don't you just rob someone? The system chuckled smugly. What do you think I'm doing right now? I'm so poor I had to lift a skirt for 100 spirit stones. Where am I supposed to get 100,000 from? Just then, I turned sharply to look at Zhang Yuga. The Zhang family seems to be quite wealthy, right? After giving him another 2 hard slaps, I ripped the from my wrist. It's settled then. I'll pretend to be possessed and go to the Zhang family to make a huge score. In the Zhang family mansion, the elder had already detailed the events at the shop to the family head. Compared to the imminent revival of his own father, Zhang Yuhang getting beaten seemed trivial. Qi Xiaoxiao is still in seclusion. Once the ancestor's possession is successful, it will be the perfect time for us to strike. But the Zhang family members waited in the main hall for a long time, yet there was no sign of the ancestor's return. Why isn't the ancestor back yet? Did something go wrong? The Zhang family head slammed the table and roared, all of you, shut up. Are you doubting my father's strength? Just then, a guard hurried to the entrance of the main hall. Family head, a young man named Qin Shou seeks an audience. Excellent, show him in. By the time I was led to the entrance by the guard, the family head and the entire Zhang clan were already lined up in the main hall, waiting respectfully. Seeing this, I quickly asked, after you successfully possess someone and return home, is there a secret password? Zhang Yuga thought for a moment. Well, you just have to say, my dear children, I have returned. Seeing me cough twice without suspicion, ready to speak, Zhang Yuga's expression turned sinister. You little brat, even though your soul is Dao Mingzi's, your body is pathetically weak. The moment you say that, the Zhang family will surely chop you into mincemeat. But the next second, I put my hands on my hips and shouted at the top of my lungs, you little brats, your old ancestor is back. The Zhang family had heard this and bowed bowed his head, muttering, "This way of speaking." The entire Zhang clan knelt and responded in unison, "We welcome the ancestors' rebirth." I waved my hand for them to rise, then shot a cold, smiling glance at Zhang Yuga. The old bastard was trying to trick me. The Zhang family had approached me excitedly. This time, with father presiding over the tournament in the desolate ancient mystic realm, our Zhang family will surely obtain the key to the treasure vault. Hearing this, my heart tightened. The desolate ancient mystic realm? Isn't that in a palace made of white bone? A blue-haired loli who had been meditating with her eyes closed suddenly opened them. A familiar aura. Has he appeared again? The thought that this tournament was on Yiling's home turf drained all my interest in teasing the old Zhang ancestor. Although this mask could hide my aura, I couldn't bet my life on a low-level piece of equipment. I had originally planned to leave these suckers with something, but now it seems I can't leave them a single thing. So I cleared my throat and said, "We can discuss the mystic realm later. I need time to recover, but this tournament concerns our Zhang families. Don't you understand what I'm saying? Your father needs a large amount of spirit stones to recover his cultivation. Go and prepare them for me now." The Zhang family head wiped the saliva from his bald head and turned to the great elder. "Go and bring all of the Zhang family's resources here." Just as the great elder was about to leave, Zhang Yuhang suddenly called out, "Family head, you're being deceived. This guy, apart from his tone when he entered, his other actions are all a deliberate imitation. Haven't you noticed something's wrong? The last few times the ancestor returned from possession, he never asked for the family's wealth." Seeing the family head actually starting to think, I immediately scowled. This shorty is too perceptive. In that case, I have to strike first. I lifted my foot for a flying kick. "You little brat, you dare to question your ancestor? I'll send you flying." The great elder quickly looked at the family head. Is the ancestor being too harsh? But the family head shook his head with a nostalgic look. "You don't understand. When I was young, my father loved to use me as a soccer ball. This is his way of showing affection. Father must have known that Yu Hang was unwilling to marry into the Huang family, so he deliberately knocked him out." He then turned and pointed at the unconscious Shan Yuhang. "Guards, immediately take the young master to dual cultivate with that girl from the Huang family." Watching the unconscious Shan Yuhang being carried away, I suddenly realized that my golden core strength was quite formidable. Should I find a way to test it? A short while later, the Zhang family head approached me obsequiously. "I've had all of the Zhang family's resources brought here." I gave a cool intending to slowly open my eyes with an air of aloofness, but the moment I opened them a crack, the glittering light from the mountain of spirit stones made my eyes go wide. The Zhang family head rubbed his hands guiltily. "Apologies, father. These are all the resources the family can currently mobilize." I grabbed a handful of spirit stones, trembling. "It's fine. If it's not enough, I'll let you know." "Holy, our cultivation family's this rich? Now I can use the myriad soul banner as I please." My gaze turned cold as I looked at the two old men nearby. Should I pick one to absorb into the myriad soul banner and test the true extent of my golden core power? Just then, the main hall of the Zhang family was suddenly kicked open, and Ran, holding a sword in one hand and the Empyrean Order high in the other, declared, "The Empyrean Order is here. Return my 3 million. No, return my junior brother Qin." The Zhang family had erupted with a terrifying aura. "Arrogant girl, this thing might fool the guards, but do you think you can fool me?" And Ran's face turned pale. "Is your Zhang family planning to betray the Empyrean alliance?" The Zhang family had made no attempt to hide his killing intent. Betrayal is out of the question, of course, but before the alliance master comes out of seclusion, a disciple suddenly going missing. Well, these things happen. And Ran raised her sword and snorted coldly. "Then let's see if you can kill me before I inform my master." Just then, I suddenly teleported between them and shouted, "Enough, both of you, stop. I'm supposed to compete with this girl. If you kill her now, how will we carry out the Zhang family's plan?" "Forgive me, father. It was my rashness." Just as I managed to pacify the Zhang family head, a sword was pressed against my neck from behind by Ran. "Why does he call you father? Have you been possessed by that strange thing? Has this silly girl practiced the sword so much she's lost her brain? If I'm exposed, we're both dead. In this situation, I can only bet on the bond between us. Little girl, obediently become my puppet and cauldron. Then, I, your ancestor, can give you as many high-grade spirit swords as you want. Take my soul-scorching black flame." And Ran stood her ground without resisting. She was about to ask me how I knew about the high-grade spirit swords when she saw me wink and whisper, "Play along, fall down quickly." And Ran looked dazedly at the mountain of spirit stones nearby. "So that's it. Qin Shou is pretending to be possessed to scam money from the Zhang family. Is he really a genius?" After learning of my grand scam, and Ran clutched her forehead and cried out dramatically, "It's an attack on the soul." Then she found a comfortable position and fell to the ground. This abstract performance left me speechless. Oh no, I'm being controlled, turned into a puppet, and this silly girl was still unaware. I played my part well, right? Remember to split the money with me later. I nervously glanced at the Zhang family members, afraid they would rush forward and chop me into pieces, but to my surprise, they all stared with wide, innocent eyes and applauded enthusiastically, celebrating my acquisition of a powerful cauldron. In that case, all you little brats of the Zhang family, listen up. In 5 days, we all head to the desolate ancient mystic realm. Legend has it that the desolate ancient mystic realm was once a beautiful paradise, but 1,000 years ago, to nurture a demonic treasure, Dao Mingzi slaughtered living beings here for 1,000 days without end, turning this land into a place of widespread death and rampant resentment, a dead realm for monsters and spirits. And our goal in this tournament is to enter the deepest part of the realm and retrieve the true path divine sword that the Empyrean Alliance lost. I picked my nose. Bored. Isn't that just the place where I used to abuse a bug to grind monsters and level up? Why did they make up such a dramatic legend? Is that true path divine sword that great? Why all the fuss to get it? Father, you may not know, that true path divine sword is the key to opening the Empyrean Alliance's treasury. It was originally Qi Xiaoxiao's personal sword, but it was lost in the battle against Dao Mingzi. That's why the Empyrean Alliance, a top-tier power, doesn't even have the resources to train its own disciples. But 100 years ago, a disciple discovered the true path divine sword in the desolate ancient mystic realm. Since then, every 10 years, the Empyrean Alliance sends disciples there for trials, all to retrieve the true path divine sword. The nearby Ran was so angry her veins were popping. Damn Zhang family, even if I have to self-destruct today, I'll stop you. Calm down. If you act now, you won't even have a chance to self-destruct. Just then, the flying ship landed. I quickly grabbed and ran out. Your father already knows the plan. I'm going to scout the mystic realm now. Watching me leave, the great elder couldn't help but frown. The ancestor's behavior does seem a bit strange. After being asleep for so long, he finally has a body to play with. It's normal for father to be a bit excited. By the way, Yu Heng should have succeeded by now, right? At the end of the flying ship's corridor, two Zhang family disciples stood guard at a door, their faces flushed, trying to ignore the sounds of moaning coming from inside. The young master and that demoness have been at it for days. Won't this high-intensity dual cultivation have any side effects? As soon as the words left his mouth, a large, thick hand burst through the door and grabbed the black-haired disciple's head. With a gentle swing, it sent him crashing through several walls. Qin Shou, this time, I will make you pay. On the other side, and Ran looked at me with disgust as I vomited violently. Can you not be sick at a crucial time like this? I wiped my mouth weakly. Ever since I transmigrated, I've been a bit allergic to all forms of transportation. Stop talking nonsense. The Zhang family is plotting a rebellion. Master specifically instructed me to look after the sect before she went into seclusion, and I've messed it up like this. No, I have to report this to Master now. Hearing this, I broke out in a cold sweat. If Qi Xiaoxiao found out, I'd probably be dead before the Zhang family even got to me, so I quickly grabbed and ran. Don't. The Alliance Master is in seclusion. Even if you go now, you might not be able to contact her. Besides you, her direct disciple, doesn't your master have any other confidants? Why isn't there a single elder to assist you? And Ran scratched her face awkwardly. The Empyrean Alliance was formed to crusade against Dao Mingzi, so it includes all sorts of miscellaneous families and factions. Master can easily suppress them with her immense strength, but after she went into seclusion, I simply don't have enough authority to control these elders. Even if I know they have ulterior motives, I'm helpless. Perhaps only by finding the true path divine sword sooner can I be less passive. I patted her shoulder comfortingly. Don't worry, victory isn't determined by pure strength. By using strategies that specifically target different enemies, you can still win with weakness against strength, with few against many. And Ran immediately looked at me with excitement. You already have a plan against the Zhang family? Nope. Then what are you acting for? I took out the Myriad Soul banner, but I already have a way to help you retrieve the true path divine sword. And Ran turned her head away, blushing. Seeing as you're somewhat reliable, I'll trust you one more time. I covered my face and snickered. What a silly girl. If she really opens that treasury, I won't leave her a single speck of spirit stone dust. Just then, the gate to the desolate ancient mystic realm slowly opened. The gate will only be open for a quarter of an hour. All disciples, hurry and enter. I grabbed Ran's hand and rushed towards the gate. Hold on tight, don't get lost. Aren't we on the same team? Even if we're randomly teleported, we shouldn't be separated, right? I gave her a meaningful glance. Normally, yes, but I've never been one for normal. Then, under Ran's bewildered gaze, I took 50 steps forward, 38 steps to the left, and finally, a big leap forward. The moment I landed, a dark hole suddenly appeared beneath my feet. Crash! Two figures fell straight onto a suspension bridge. I rubbed my dizzy head and sat up. Falling like this in reality really hurts, but this ground feels quite soft. Just then, a roar sounded. Qin Shou, if you don't let go, I'll chop off your claws. A moment later, as Ran crossed the bridge, she asked doubtfully, this is the lowest level of the mystic realm, right? How did we end up in a place like this? I smiled faintly without answering. My lost game data must be somewhere around here. At the very least, it should raise me to the nascent soul stage. That way, even if my physical body is killed, I'll have a way to revive. Just then, several dark figures suddenly swooped down from the cliff face, transforming into claw-bearing corpse demons. Seeing this, I was quite pleased. The mobs are gathering faster than I thought. Did they change the monster count in this realm? But the Ran next to me wasn't so calm. Why aren't you worried at all? Even I can't handle so many corpse demons. I gently took her hand to reassure her. There's no game I can't beat. Trust me, you brainless ghouls. Come and get me if you've got the guts. Seeing the swarm of corpse demons, Ran was stunned. Are you trying to get us killed faster? The next second, several pebbles accurately hit the foremost corpse demon. You're quite accurate, but that kind of attack won't hurt them at all. And were those spirit stones you just threw? Just as the corpse demon was about to pounce on Rand's face. It suddenly fell as if struck by something and plummeted into the abyss below. And Rand looked at me, her eyes wide with shock. How on earth did you do that? I continued to throw spirit stones rapidly, chuckling. These monsters are stupid and clumsy, a little luring, and they'll jump off the cliff themselves. As long as you deal damage before they hit the ground, you get their full experience points. Why does this guy know everything? Is he really just a sect disciple? Lost in thought. And Rand didn't notice I had stopped and bumped right into my back. She quickly covered her chest, mortified. Why did you suddenly stop? I didn't answer, my expression serious as I looked at the two giant beastly figures ahead. It seems I can't lure these two elite monsters off the cliff. Looks like we'll have to beat them to pass. This is a good chance to test my current strength. I solemnly handed the shackles to Amren. My life is in your hands. If I can't beat them, you have to pull me back in time. The next second, I gathered the full force of my golden core cultivation and unleashed my strongest attack on the ox-head and horse-face demons. Boom! The entire chasm began to tremble violently. Yuling's eyes widened as she looked towards the source of the tremor. This aura! Dao Mingzi, you really did come here. Yuling's gaze was dark as she brandished her blood-red chains. Then let me capture your soul and slowly make you pay for your past sins. But on the bridge, as I watched the ox-head and horse-face being swallowed by smoke, I couldn't help but wonder if I was the protagonist of an invincible flow story. My golden core strength is this powerful, but when the smoke cleared, I was stunned. The ox-head and horse-face weren't just not killed by my punch, they didn't even have a scratch on them. While I was stunned, and Rand had already yanked me back onto the bridge. You idiot! If you can't deal damage, don't make such a big scene. Then she quickly formed hand signs and executed a water-based movement technique, grabbing me by the scruff of my neck and turning to run. Wait, this isn't the shortcut to the end. Shortcut my ass. Let's just stay alive for now. After the two of us had run far away, the ox-head, who hadn't spoken since his appearance, finally opened his mouth. Who was that person? I've never seen such a terrifying punch. Good thing we don't have physical bodies, or that punch would have turned us to dust. The horse-face sighed with lingering fear. We must report this to the Lord of the Underworld immediately. Give me a hand. Let's go together. Just then, a cold voice sounded from above them. No need. I already know everything. That scoundrel has mixed into the Empyrean Alliance's team again. Is Master planning to play tricks on Senior Sister again? Yuling was about to give chase when she suddenly realized my aura had vanished. Did Master notice me? She sneered. No matter what tricks you use, since you've entered my domain, don't think you can escape easily. A red light suddenly flashed in Yuling's eyes. Countless vengeful spirits instantly poured out of the city of Woe. Vengeful souls of the city of Woe, find my master for me, on a small path. And Rand frowned at me and complained. Why did you suddenly put on that ugly mask? What do you know? We made such a huge ruckus just now. If I don't hide my aura, the boss will catch up to us. We ran until we reached a dense forest before I finally stopped. We definitely can't take the shortcut now. There are so many monsters on the main road. You have to protect me. And Rand was about to say that she would break through soon, but she noticed a palace had suddenly appeared in front of them. I quickly scouted the area. Strange. There isn't even a single small monster here. Did I cause the vengeful spirits to stop spawning? Be careful. I have a strange, eerie feeling about this place. Ding! System-friendly reminder. The host's lost data is nearby. I kicked open the palace door. Just some early game side dungeon. It's nothing compared to my lost data. And Rand reluctantly followed me in. Why is it even more eerie inside this room? Creak. The main door slammed shut without warning. I turned my head excitedly. The boss's entrance is different from before. Is it a new monster? Mere mortals dare to trespass in the underworld. Are you ready to face judgment? Meanwhile, in the upper levels of the mystic realm, a tide of ghosts and monsters crazily rushed towards the Empyrean Alliance disciples, driving them all the way to the lowest level. Just as everyone was at a loss, a shrill scream suddenly came from behind. A 4 to 5 meter tall humanoid hog was grabbing a female cultivator and relentlessly squeezing her. Yu Xiaoxing immediately shouted, "What monster is that? Let her go immediately." Zhang Yuhang turned his head with a sinister look. Aren't you two from the Yu and Jing families? Thanks to those ghosts for driving you all together. It saves me the trouble of killing you one by one. Yu Xiaoxing and Jing Jingren immediately ordered their sect members to retreat, while they themselves took a stance, ready for battle. Zhang Yuhang raised a ball of black flame in his hand. In that case, I'll use the second and third ranked prodigies of the sect to test my current strength. Scorching Soul Black Hand. Above the battle, Yuling's gaze constantly swept through the crowd. Strange, he's not among these people either. Where is Master hiding? Just as she was pondering, a series of muffled thuds suddenly came from the depths of the mystic realm. Yuling was shocked. Could it be? On the other side, in the city of Woe, and Rand swiped her 2 fingers across her sword and slashed at the judge. But the next second, the judge's eye of judgment on his forehead suddenly opened. A purple light instantly restrained and ran. You are greedy, harsh, and have a crooked heart. You shall suffer the punishment of the saw. A huge saw materialized and swung down on and ran with devastating force. And Rand hastily raised her sword, barely managing to block the saw with all her strength. Then she looked angrily at me, who was crawling around in the back. Aren't you going to help? This low-grade spirit sword of mine won't last long. But without even looking back, I told her to hold on a little longer. According to this game's usual pattern, there must be an item hidden in the dungeon that can counter the boss. Just then, and Rand suddenly shouted at at me. Be careful, that thing is targeting you. What's the use of targeting me? I'm just a homebody who plays games. What sins could I have committed? You stir up trouble, spread rumors and slander, incited a chaste widow to remarry, embezzled money, framed others, were addicted to gambling, committed murder for money, bullied the weak, killed and robbed, committed arson, disrespected your teachers and parents, desecrated graves, profited at public expense, sought revenge, disposed of stolen goods and destroyed evidence. The judge's expression gradually crumbled, the killing intent in his eyes growing stronger. You are pure evil. 18 levels of hell, 3 times over, wouldn't be enough to judge you. If I don't obliterate your body and soul today, you can have my job. Seeing the saw that was about to strike her suddenly disappear, and Ran was completely dumbfounded. Wait, Chin Shou, what on earth have you done in the past? How the hell should I know? While he's focused on me, you should look for a chance to attack. And Ran quickly came to her senses and unleashed the water spirit sword art's torrential collapse style, aiming for the judge's back. The sword light flashed, and an azure wave of sword energy exploded. But to her surprise, not only did the attack not harm the judge, it completely enraged him. He waved his hand, condensing 2 sides that flew towards us at high speed. Shameless brats, die! And Ran was shocked. This guy is a spirit body. Physical attacks can't harm him. Hearing the words spirit body, I suddenly remembered something. So that's why this banner's aura felt so familiar. It belongs to that Yandere lowly. Against spirit bodies, this thing has absolute suppressing power. But my action stunned and Ran. At a time like this, what are you doing pulling out a pair of underpants? Dude, what do you know? This is a divine artifact that costs 100,000 spirit stones to use once. Myriad soul banner, it's your time to shine. Seeing the underpants flag I held high, the judge froze in disbelief. Just as I thought he was scared, the judge opened his book of life and death and wrote furiously, so you're also a pervert who steals women's underwear. Your sins are compounded. I furiously spent 100,000 spirit stones and unleashed another whirlwind at the judge. In the judge's shocked gaze, the whirlwind snatched his book of life and death and judge's brush. I shook the underworld treasures in my hand arrogantly. The myriad soul banner can absorb and control all soul and ghost related items. Your book of life and death is no exception. Let's see you right now. The enraged judge flapped his wings and condensed 2 ferocious nether hounds. Only I can use these underworld treasures. What does it matter if you take them? Azwa, you bite this beast to death for me. But the 2 hounds had only taken a few steps when they suddenly yelped and fell to the ground, foaming at the mouth, motionless. I looked at the 2 red crosses on the book of life and death and chuckled. Thanks for telling me their names, Judge. This scene made the judge tremble. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Why can a living person use underworld treasures? I spread my hands and didn't answer. I can't just tell you I'm the emperor of the underworld, can I? I made this book of life and death myself. Just as I was scratching my head, wondering what to write next, 2 notifications sounded in succession. Ding! Transaction successful. 100,000 spirit stones deducted. I was instantly dumbfounded. Damn system, who taught you to count uses like that? You're controlling the book of life and death through the myriad soul banner, so of course it counts as a use. Just then, the judge suddenly clapped his hands together, and his body was instantly engulfed in karmic fire red lotuses. Don't think I can't do anything to you. I'll roast you alive. Faced with the incoming karmic fire, I lost my will to play around, lest that damn system find another chance to rob me. As the myriad soul banner spun, a powerful gust of wind instantly absorbed all the karmic fire red lotuses. Feeling the terrifying suction of the banner, a chill suddenly ran down the judge's spine. Oh no, this scoundrel wants to suck me in too. Seeing the judge lose his nerve and try to flee, I immediately sped up my movements and cackled madly. Hee, it's too late to run now. Get in here, you little punk. After a bout of dizziness, the judge rubbed his dazed head. Where have I been sucked into? The next second, a dry, old hand suddenly rested on his shoulder. Are you also trying to possess Dao Mingzi? The moment the judge disappeared, the door to the inner hall opened automatically. Just follow this path, and we'll find the final boss of the mystic realm and retrieve my lost game data. At the same time, Ran also sensed that the true path divine sword was just ahead. But just as we were about to enter, a cold voice suddenly sounded from behind us. So Master came here for the true path divine sword. Not to see me. Master is so heartless. And Rand's confused gaze shifted between the 2 of us. You know each other? And I, while putting on my mask, flatly denied it. Don't talk nonsense. I have no idea. I don't know her. Yiling chuckled and slowly approached me. Although I can't feel Master's spiritual energy now, this figure and tone are unmistakable. I can finally be with Master's soul forever. Just thinking about it is so exciting. Just then, Rand suddenly drew her sword and stood in front of me. I won't let you touch my 3 million spirit stone junior brother. Yiling snorted coldly at her. You buzzkill. She raised her hand and tapped lightly. A blue nether force instantly pierced Rand's forehead. I quickly caught the unconscious and ran. She's the direct disciple of the Empyrean Alliance's master. Aren't you afraid of retaliation? Don't worry. I just knocked her soul out of her body. She'll recover on her own in a bit. I wouldn't dare to really harm senior sister's disciple. Now, finally, no one will disturb our eternal union. Hearing this, I broke out in a cold sweat and tried to argue. What, master? I don't understand what you're talking about. But Yiling seemed not to hear, reaching out to take off my mask. Fine, since you crazy woman want to see, I'll let you. I am the Jean Zhang family's ancestor, Zhang Yuga. After transforming, I let out a sigh of relief. Luckily, the souls imprisoned in the banner, their abilities and appearances can be used by me. Just as Yiling was wavering, a chaotic shout suddenly came from behind. A large number of cultivators were rushing towards them. Yiling gave up on guessing. She clapped her hands together, and the 6 paths of reincarnation instantly manifested behind her. Souls can't lie, no matter how well you hide. Now that all the living cultivators are gathered here, I can just extract their souls and check them one by one. Just then, I suddenly teleported behind her and shouted, "This woman is the lord of this mystic realm. The true path divine sword is on her." Zhang Yuhang, who had just arrived, heard this and, without a word, flew towards Yiling to attack. "After I get the true path divine sword, I'll deal with you all slowly." 3 different powers erupted with a violent tremor. Yiling yawned with annoyance. 2 pigs. The beast path glowed brightly. The previously invincible Zhang Yuhang and his companion instantly transformed into 2 fat pigs, rolling on the ground. Then, the other 5 paths also glowed brightly. "Master, the game of hide and seek is over. Soul return." Amidst screams of pain, everyone's souls were successively extracted from their bodies, and I was also curled up on the ground, trembling, wailing in pain. Of course, this was all an act. As Yiling's master, I had long guessed she would pull this move, so when she used the 6 paths nether wheel, I secretly attached Zhang Yuga's soul to myself. Even when Zhang Yuga was pulled out, I didn't forget to warn him, "Say one more word, and I'll kill you." Yiling, weaving through the crowd of souls, didn't notice anything unusual. Strange, master really isn't among these people. As for me, I took the opportunity to put on my mask and hide my aura. You take your time looking. I'm off to get my game data. But just as I was about to crawl into the main hall, the door suddenly slammed shut with a bang. I already knew what master came here for. How could I possibly leave the main door open? Another force slammed the mask off my face. I rubbed my throbbing face, annoyed. I was just about to get away with it. "Why are you still so serious?" Just like before. In the moment Yiling saw my true face, her eyes instantly welled up. "It really is you." She trembled with excitement. "Master, I know you are powerful and your methods are always unexpected, but to ensure I get your soul, you have no idea how long I've prepared." Nether art, infinite reincarnation realm. A vast nether force instantly surrounded me. No one can escape from the sea of reincarnation suffering, and the ghosts of the entire desolate ancient mystic realm will torture you to death. "Master, let's settle this here and now." Looking at the tide of ghosts sweeping towards me, I sighed helplessly. In the end, I still can't save these 100,000 spirit stones. The myriad soul banner instantly appeared. A tyrannical soul force directly devoured all the incoming ghosts. Yiling pointed at the myriad soul banner in disbelief. How do you have?" Yiling's aura instantly became incredibly cold. "Master is truly irredeemably evil. Let's try this move." 6 paths nether wheel, heavenly path, divine punishment. Before I could resist, I heard her shout again, "Hungry ghost path, berserk hungry ghost." Faced with the dual pursuit of heavenly lightning and Yiling's hungry ghost, I had no power to fight back and could only flee in a sorry state. Just as I was thinking about how to counterattack, a roar suddenly came from behind me. "Qin Shou, die!" It turned out that after I revealed my true face, Zhang Yuhang had joined forces with the Huang family's young lady to activate a demonic martial dual cultivation technique, trying to kill me while I was distracted. But I just turned and waved the soul banner at them, and they both fell headfirst into the soul capturing space. I was just looking for a suitable counterattack. "Let's test your quality." A terrifying yin-yang force suddenly erupted, sending the pursuing Yiling flying. But when the smoke cleared, Yiling was stunned. My waist was moving like it had an electric motor, thrusting wildly at the air. Ding! Didn't the host know? There are side effects when one person performs a dual cultivation technique. How the hell was I supposed to know about such a bizarre setting? And my action thoroughly enraged Yiling. To perform such a beastly act in front of me, you should be reduced to a beast. Seeing the light of the beast path shine, I quickly dropped to the ground to dodge. The next second, Zhang Yuhang and Miss Huang, who were hit by the beast path's light, instantly turned into 2 pig heads. Since these 2 are useless, I'll switch to others. Having fled to the center of the crowd, I suddenly stood still, the soul banner in my hand spinning again. "All of you, get in here. With the abilities of so many souls here, plus my understanding of this game, I can fight you head on." Yu Xiuxing's soul suddenly appeared behind me, with spirit sword art, wind sweeping away the clouds. While Yiling was dodging, I instantly used a water-based movement technique to approach her. Then another soul appeared behind me. Thunder's wrath. Boom! A violent thunderbolt suddenly enveloped Yiling. Just as I thought victory was mine, Yiling's powerful laughter suddenly echoed in my ears. "Master, haven't you noticed yet? I have completely mastered the nether profound scripture you taught me. I am now the purest form of a spirit soul." As she spoke, her fingertips once again condensed a large amount of nether force and shot it at me. Furious, I turned and ran. I can't believe she cultivated herself into a spirit body. No wonder I can't deal any damage. Hell path, ghostly entanglement. Seeing that I was finally unable to move, Yiling slowly floated in front of me and smiled sweetly. "Master, you should just stop struggling." She raised her hand and pulled a soul from my body. "Obediently guard this desolate ancient mystic realm with me." But when she saw the soul's appearance, she fell silent. The next second, she shot out both hands and frantically pulled out souls. "Don't think you can use other people's souls as scapegoats. Trash host, you have to think of a way to save yourself. I calmly gestured for the system not to worry. A spirit body's strength is greatly diminished when exposed to sunlight. Even someone as strong as Yiling is no exception. That's easy for you to say, but where is there any sunlight in the desolate ancient mystic realm? I waved my hand and dispelled the ghosts around me. My understanding of this game far exceeds your imagination. I casually picked up Yu Shousheng's body and ripped off his pants. A dazzling golden light erupted from between his legs. A source of light doesn't have to be the sun. It can also come from the censorship god. Yiling never expected I had this move up my sleeve. Shameless master, to think you would use this kind of sunlight. But as soon as she finished speaking, the harmonious holy light between Yu Shousheng's legs rapidly shrank into a faint, palm-sized glow. I was stunned for a moment, then furiously slapped Yu Shousheng's little brother, hoping the swelling would make the holy light brighter. Why did you only develop such a small holy light? Are you even an adult? Yu Shousheng blushed and lowered his head. Hearing the female disciples whispering behind him, Jing Jingren patted his shoulder comfortingly. It's okay, brother Yu. Small is cute too. Yiling ignored the tiny holy light and walked towards me. Master's idea was brilliant, but unfortunately, the heavens are not on your side. If one isn't enough, I'll win with quantity. My figure quickly flashed through the group of male disciples. Looking at the pants flying everywhere, the female disciples shyly covered their eyes. Junior brother Qin is so shameless. I must see how shameless he can be. With this much sunlight, I can definitely hurt you now. Yiling took a few steps back in panic. Why don't you look behind you first? Hearing this, a bad feeling rose in my heart. I turned around, and sure enough, there wasn't a trace of sunlight. Instead, my eyes were met with a field of yellowish brown mosaic. A disciple raised his hand, blushing. Maybe it's because I've lost my virginity. As soon as he said this, everyone's gaze focused on Yu Shousheng. So that means, among everyone here, only brother Yu is still a virgin. Yu Shousheng, still reeling from the small is cute too comment, was hit with another heavy blow. What was the point of me trying so hard to maintain my image? I'm tired. Just destroy me. But at this moment, I was even more devastated than them. I'm so *****ing done. Only one virgin in the entire sect. Are you the Empyrean Alliance or the sect of harmonious joy? Yiling's expression was playful as she pressed her lips together. Master, feel free to use any other tricks you have. I sighed in disappointment. Fine, just take my soul. Yiling chuckled and lifted my chin. If only you had been like this from the start. Master, let's guard this desolate ancient mystic realm together. Just as she summoned the soul-locking chains to make her move, I suddenly laughed. You've fallen into my trap. Before Yiling could react, I ripped off my own pants. A blazing sun instantly rose from between my legs. This is my true trump card. Look at me. Let's see you act so arrogant now. The intense sunlight made it difficult for Yiling to even open her eyes. Feeling her power rapidly declining, she hurriedly tried to activate the Six Paths nether wheel to counterattack. Seeing this, I thrust my hips forward, and a golden light shot out from between my legs. Don't even think about it. The Six Paths nether wheel was instantly shattered by the thick yang energy. Yiling was even more unable to withstand it, her clothes being torn to shreds. Good chance. Host, quickly use the Myriad Soul banner on her. The banner is useless against its original owner, but I've thought of a way. As I spoke, I skillfully removed the underpants from the flagpole. Yiling, taste my blade. A loud roar instantly brought Yiling back to her senses, but when she saw her master, naked from the waist down, leap onto her head, she was completely stunned. By the time she reacted, she was already covered by my unwashed, large underpants. I confidently turned and left. Enjoy my pure yang energy. In less than the time it takes to drink a cup of tea, Yiling was overwhelmed by the smell, tears streaming down her face as she collapsed to the ground. This, underpants, how long has it been since they were washed? Seeing that even the mighty lord of the underworld was defeated by me, the female disciple's eyes lit up with admiration. That junior brother's final move was so cool. Isn't that just sexual harassment? It's disgusting when others do it, but when junior brother Qin does it, it's cool. Exactly. Senior brother Yu, are you just jealous? I didn't expect senior brother Yu to be so petty. I looked at the incapacitated Yiling and laughed wildly. You're still far from being able to defeat me, your master. Then I reattached the underpants to the flagpole. Your mission is over. You can all go back. Everyone's souls returned to their bodies. Zhang Yuhang and Miss Huang tried to sneak back, but I caught them both. You two tried to kill me just now. Don't think I'll let it slide so easily. Get back here. After dealing with everything, I clapped my hands and was about to enter the secret room, but just as I took a step, someone shouted from behind, Qin Shou, stop right there. There's still a brave soul who dares to stop me. And Ran gritted her teeth and said in a low voice, I don't care what you're doing, but at least put on your pants before you go. I was just trying to maintain my suppression on Yiling. I haven't had a chance to put them back on yet. Just then, a savage roar suddenly came from the secret room behind me. I looked over in confusion. Such powerful aura. It's not weaker than Yiling's at all. I glanced at Yiling, who was trembling on the ground. How could there be someone stronger than her? Isn't she the master of this mystic realm? As I was lost in thought, the sound of chains snapping echoed from the chamber. After 500 years, that wretched woman has finally been defeated. Just then, Yiling on the ground suddenly turned her head and sneered. So your goal was to release it. You really do want to destroy the entire cultivation world. Master, you truly are irredeemably evil. My hand, which had not yet been withdrawn, on, suddenly had a tendency to pull down again. I'm warning you, if you slander me again, you'll be getting a taste of the holy light. Stop. If you do that, you'll really be censored. Just as Anran finished speaking, the secret room behind her exploded with a bang. A completely black and red bone dragon slowly crawled out. I stared at the giant dragon with confusion. This monster looks so familiar. I feel like I've seen it somewhere. The nearby Yiling said angrily, "What are you still pretending for? The one who created this monster was you." I pointed at myself, completely bewildered. Ding! Has the host forgotten? This dragon was the original dungeon boss. I suddenly remembered. With the system's reminder, it was the weakling I had one shot to complete an achievement after reaching max level. Yiling roared with hatred. "It's because you killed this evil dragon and didn't dispose of its body that it corrupted into an undead monster. By the time senior sister and I discovered the crime you had committed, it was already too late to kill it. To prevent it from corrupting more living beings, senior sister could only suppress it with the True Path Divine Sword. But the bone dragon is immortal. The Genie Divine Sword alone couldn't completely suppress it. Helpless, I could only stay here and guard it day and night with my soul power. But the dragon's corrupting power was unstoppable. Even with all my strength, this place still became the desolate ancient mystic realm it is today. Now I have no power to stop the corruption. The destruction of the entire world is because of your various evil deeds." Just as Yiling finished explaining, the bone dragon attacked. "Bitch, let's see how you're going to trap me now." Startled at first, I immediately relaxed. "He's not after me. I'm out of here." "Master, you raised him just for this day." Hearing the word master, the bone dragon's movements suddenly paused. "Master, Dao Mingzi, what did you do to this bone dragon? Its resentment is almost tangible. I just defeated it normally. How was I supposed to know there was some hidden setting?" Just then, the bone dragon's resentful voice sounded. "I thought it would be a world-shaking battle between us. I was even prepared to have my essence forcefully taken after my defeat. But before I could even make a move, this beast slapped me to death. I still had a whole arsenal of skills I hadn't used. If we had fought fair and square, I have 9 ways to kill him." 9. The bone dragon's giant claw slowly pressed down on Yiling. "Now that I've killed you, I can break free. I will find Dao Mingzi and use every means to torture him to death." This bone dragon couldn't even be defeated by Yiling. I can only think of a way to escape from here, get my game data back, and then make plans. So I nodded in approval. "So there's such a history between you two. Then you should be able to let us passersby go, right?" I secretly ordered the system to retrieve the data's location. "Currently updating the data's latest location for you. It's on this bone dragon's forehead." Ding! The lost data. "You're not asking me to solo this dragon, are you?" The system nodded excitedly. Yes. While I was hesitating, Yu Shousheng suddenly shouted, "At a critical moment like this, it's up to me to step up. I'll hold the rear here. You all, take this chance to escape the mystic realm." Jing Jingren and the others were shocked. "Brother you'll die if you do that." Yu Shousheng looked at the giant bone dragon and said righteously, "As long as I can protect my junior brothers and sisters, I'm willing to die. Senior brother Yu is still thinking of us in a situation like this. I'm so ashamed." Yu Shousheng, with his back to the crowd, had a huge grin on his face. "Taking the initiative to hold the rear at a time like this will definitely redeem my image in the eyes of my junior brothers and sisters." He carefully took out a talisman. This sword talisman, given to me by my great-grandmother, contains a single strike from an ancient master. It's most effective against the ghosts and monsters in this mystic realm. Thinking this, he no longer hesitated and quickly activated the sword talisman by sticking it on his sword. The bone dragon was momentarily stunned. Feeling the immense sword intent approaching, this aura, I, who had been looking for a chance to slip away, also felt that familiar aura. Why does this sword move feel strangely familiar? And after taking the hit head-on, the bone dragon's aura suddenly became violent. Its tail whipped out, smashing Yu Shousheng into the wall. "I didn't even have to look for you, and you delivered yourself to my door." "Dao Mingzi." Before the words had even faded, the dragon's fists rained down on Yu Shousheng's body. "Damn Dao Mingzi, where's your ability to one-shot me now?" Just then, an idea flashed in my mind. I remember now, there was a guy named Yu something who asked me to forge a sword talisman. I found it troublesome at the time and just scribbled one for him. If I had known it would be used at a time like this, I would have drawn it seriously. At this moment, Yu Shousheng was more dead than alive. "Stop! Do I look anything like Dao Mingzi? Open your eyes and look carefully." But as soon as he said this, the bone dragon scooped Yu Shousheng up and kneaded him violently. "Damn Dao Mingzi, still trying to humiliate me at a time like this. Do you see any eyes on me now?" In its rage, the bone dragon's claws grew tighter, crushing Yu Shousheng's bones with a sickening crunch. "Someone save me." Jing Jingren, seeing this, quickly drew his sword. "How can we sit by and watch senior brother Yu sacrifice himself? If we work together, we can definitely defeat the bone dragon." But the scene of unity he imagined did not appear. "Even if we all attack together, we can't beat this bone dragon, can we? If we don't run now, senior brother Yu will have died in vain." This scene made the bone dragon excited. "Ha ha ha, Dao Mingzi, your popularity is as bad as ever. But unfortunately, the kingdom I seek allows no living beings. Soul-devouring poison. Your souls will be completely corroded by the poisonous miasma, eventually becoming puppets at my command. And you, Dao Mingzi, I will torture you to death in the most brutal way to avenge my humiliation." I already said I'm not Dao Mingzi, but the bone dragon ignored him and threw a ball of poisonous miasma into Zhang Zhang Yuhang's body. In less than a breath, Zhang Yuhang, whose soul had not yet returned, stood up. Damn it, what does this broken dragon want to do to my body? I also didn't expect the bone dragon to have such a wicked art. What is it trying to do? I watched as the bone dragon sent the completely shattered Yu Shousheng directly to Zhang Yuhang. Dao Mingzi, I will humiliate you to death in the most extreme way. The next second, Zhang Yuhang ripped off Yu Shousheng's pants. Realizing what he wanted to do, Yu Shousheng began to struggle desperately. Don't come over here. Unfortunately, Zhang Yuhang was just a puppet at this point. Squelch. The delicate chrysanthemum instantly bloomed into a sunflower. Jing Jingren stared at Yu Shousheng and cursed loudly. Damn bone dragon. If only I could take brother Yu's place. Some disciples closed their eyes, unwilling to look at the nauseating scene, only to be slapped into a pulp by the bone dragon's claw. All of you, open your eyes. I'll kill anyone who doesn't watch. All of you, remember Dao Mingzi's ugly state. Now I was really starting to sweat. After it's done playing with Yu Shousheng, it definitely won't let the rest of us go. The nearby Yiling, however, let out a sigh of relief. For you to die because of the evil you've wrought, heaven is indeed fair. I suddenly appeared in front of Yiling's face. Your underpants alone are not enough to defeat the bone dragon now. As I spoke, I started to pull off Yiling's outer clothes, but if we add some other clothes, the effect might be better. Yiling hastily summoned a spirit to push my hand away. Bastard, stop. Not only did you release the disastrous bone dragon, but you also want to humiliate me in this way. Does Master hate this world so much? Does he enjoy playing with everyone before destroying everything? I casually swatted the spirit away and met Yiling's gaze with determination. You're mistaken. I never wanted to destroy this world. Whether you believe it or not, I want to save everyone here, including you. Yiling looked at my determined eyes, and her thoughts couldn't help but drift back to over 2,000 years ago. At that time, some said Sealed Gate Village was haunted by a vengeful ghost. Others said it was the village's master Huang who had done evil, attracting heaven's punishment. And still others said, I slapped the old man, cutting off his rambling. Cut the crap. Just tell me what the quest is. Why does an NPC have so much dialogue? Master, don't be angry. Chikon quickly grabbed my arm, afraid I might accidentally slap the old man to death. After getting slapped, the old man immediately became obedient. Eradicating the ghost in the village will earn you the best sword in the village. After successfully receiving the side quest, I took Chikong and walked into Fengmen village. But as soon as we entered the village, we saw a ritual altar already set up in the center. An old man dressed as a Taoist priest was waving a lightning talisman and chanting. Then he fiercely pierced it with his sword. With a loud boom, a golden bolt of lightning struck the red-clothed vengeful ghost, making it scream in pain. The vengeful ghost endured the pain and looked up, cursing, Huang Shuren, to buy your son an official position, you arbitrarily raised taxes, driving my parents and all the villagers to their deaths. Huang Shuren spat at the female ghost with disgust. Nonsense. It's because you tenants are lazy. Think about whether you worked hard enough in the fields. Then he turned to the old Taoist priest with a fawning look. Thank you for your hard work, master. I'll have someone send the remaining 30 taels to your temple. The old Taoist priest stroked his beard. It's too much trouble for Master Huang to send it to the temple. Just exchange it for spirit tickets for this humble Taoist. Just then, a figure suddenly attacked him from behind. You old fossil, you dare to steal my quest. I grabbed Huang Shuren and roared. I ran so far to do your damn quest, and you gave it to another NPC? I looked at the subdued vengeful ghost with frustration. Since I didn't personally defeat this ghost, I definitely can't get the reward from that old man. Just as I was considering whether to knock out the old man and just rob him, an idea flashed in my mind. Got it. If I just release the vengeful ghost and then deal with it myself, I can complete the quest. I'm a genius. I waved my hand and shattered the chains on the vengeful ghost, then winked at it. Go on, cause some chaos. After you're done, I can kill you. The vengeful ghost looked up in disbelief. He let me go. No, he must have come specifically to help me. A terrifying ghostly aura crazily rushed towards Huang Shuren and the old Taoist priest. Pay for the lives of my parents and fellow villagers. Jikong frowned and whispered in my ear, Master, is it right for you to let the ghost run rampant? On the surface, I told him that all things in the world have their own cause and effect, but in reality, I didn't care about their lives at all. They were just NPCs. Just then, the system suddenly popped up a notification. Congratulations, player Dao Mingzi, for unlocking the hidden title Emperor of the Underworld. This title allows you to master all nether arts and command all the ghosts in the world. A large number of vengeful ghosts and spirits have been detected in the player's vicinity. Do you want to recruit them with one click? As I was marveling at how Huang Shuren was even more of a scoundrel than I was, the red-clothed vengeful ghost suddenly knelt before me with a thud. Thank you for your help, benefactor. Yiling's blood feud has finally been avenged. I calmly adjusted my sleeves. Finally my turn to act, and as the resentment dissipated, the red-clothed vengeful ghost finally revealed her original appearance. Even if my soul is scattered, Yiling has no regrets. Please, benefactor, destroy me. The hand I had raised suddenly paused. This female ghost is quite beautiful anyway. As long as I get her out of Sealed Gate Village, the quest is complete. Wouldn't it be killing two birds with one stone if I took her with me? Thinking this, I immediately patted her shoulder with a pleasant expression. Get up, I'm keeping your little life for other uses. Under Yiling's confused gaze, I directly stuffed the 6 paths nether wheel into her hands. From now on, you are to leave this place and and become the Lord of Reincarnation who wields the nether wheel in my stead. But I had no idea Yiling was thinking about all this. With my Oscar-worthy acting, could it be that she still doesn't believe me? And as Yiling recalled my heroic posture from back then, she couldn't help but turn away shyly. For the sake of the entire world, I'll trust you again. But before she could finish, she was interrupted by a sudden chill. Haha, an opening. Yiling curled up in shame. I knew he was the most despicable beast in the world. She had just calmed down when she saw me, not far away, shaking my hands up and down between my legs. What on earth are you doing with my clothes? I held up the upgraded soul banner excitedly and shouted, come and see my super advanced, ultimate flagship, supreme masterpiece, collector's edition myriad soul banner. Yiling, feeling the strange sensation of being commando, walked up behind me. Are you sure that perverted thing will be useful? I grabbed the loincloth and took a deep breath. Can't you feel the powerful aura coming from this advanced version of the myriad soul banner? Don't smell it, you damn pervert. Most importantly, the power of the nether wheel is back. Watch this. With the advanced myriad soul banner, I only need one move to destroy the bone dragon. At this moment, the bone dragon's mind was completely on revenge, completely unaware of the commotion here. Did you all see that? This is the price for offending me. As it spoke, it once again controlled Zhang Yuhang to ram into Yu Xiaoxing even harder. Someone save me. I'm really not Dao Mingzi. After thousands of years, I have finally avenged myself on Dao Mingzi. Although you turned me into this undead creature, I should also thank you for inadvertently giving me a nearly indestructible body. Next, I will turn all living creatures in this world into unthinking bone beasts with indestructible bodies. When all living beings in this world are under my control, I will be the one and only king. Just then, it suddenly turned its head to look at Yiling. You bitch! To protect your master Dao Mingzi, you've kept me sealed here all this time. Yiling hurriedly retorted, I wasn't trying to protect master. I was trying to protect the innocent people of the world. The bone dragon sneered and grabbed Yiling. None of that matters. You like sealing me, right? Then you'll be my first slave. The next second, endless bone energy crazily poured into Yiling's body, and Ran, who had been lying on the ground with me pretending to be non-existent, couldn't help but urge me. Didn't you say you could one-shot it? Do it now! I got up and cautiously crawled towards the bone dragon. What's the hurry? I'm looking for an opportunity. If my plan is correct, one strike will be enough to decide the outcome, but I can only use this attack once. I have to get closer to maximize its power. Yiling has attracted its attention. I have to take this opportunity to hit it hard. But just as I had managed to sneak under the bone dragon, Yiling suddenly broke down. I've been guarding here for so long, hoping he would have changed when he returned. I even thought that even if he didn't change, I could forcefully capture his soul and guard this mystic realm with him to atone for his sins. But in the end, forget it. I'm tired. Let's all be destroyed together. This bastard is the real Dao Mingzi. Yiling raised her finger and pointed at me below, shouting, you should kill him too. The bone dragon's empty eye sockets instantly turned towards me, making my body stiffen. What are you talking about? How can a small fry like me be compared to the handsome, charming, powerful, and godlike Dao Mingzi? Yiling roared with anger. To be able to make such a shameless comment, it completely proves that you are the narcissistic master. But the bone dragon seemed to have discovered something and suddenly burst into laughter, hands on its hips. I didn't expect that even at a time like this, you bitch would still be trying to protect your master. How did you get protecting from that? I'm telling you to kill him. Yiling was speechless. You're just trying to find some random passerby to pose as your master so that the real Dao Mingzi can escape. The bone dragon looked like it had seen through everything. Yiling was so speechless she wanted to laugh. You can't even tell who you're trying to kill. Are you blind? You're mocking me for not having eyes again. But the bone dragon quickly shook its finger smugly. You're deliberately trying to provoke me, aren't you? I won't fall for it. I couldn't help but give the bone dragon a thumbs up. That's right, great dragon king. Don't be fooled by this cunning, evil woman. Just then, Yiling discovered that under the erosion of the bone energy, she was forced to condense a physical body. The bone dragon also released its claws at this time. Don't worry, I'm turning you into a bone person just so you can feel the most extreme despair. Yiling uncontrollably picked up a long knife and slowly approached the naked Yu Xiaoxing. Yu Xiaoxing scrambled backwards on his hands and feet. Don't attack there again. But as soon as he finished speaking, the long knife accurately pierced into the stretched open passage. Hearing the sound, the bone dragon burst into laughter. Haha, how does it feel to personally harm your beloved master? Yiling never thought in her life that she would do something like this to a stranger. Overwhelmed with shame, she managed to resist the control of the bone energy and turned her head to shout at me. I told you, he is the real Dao Mingzi. Since everyone here is going to die, why don't you start with him? The bone dragon snorted contemptuously. With his cultivation so weak it's barely detectable, you dare to call him Dao Mingzi? I nodded frequently in deep agreement. Yes, the great dragon king is truly perceptive. Perhaps to punish Yiling, the bone dragon made her stab Yu Xiaoxing's but a few more times. Then it turned to me and sneered. I'll stand right here and let you hit me. If you can make me take even one step back, I will enter reincarnation myself. I expressed my terror. How dare I attack the invincible great bone dragon? But under my feet, I secretly moved a few steps closer. The bone dragon was very satisfied with my attitude. I'm not even afraid of the real Dao Mingzi, let alone an imposter like you. Hurry up and attack, so I can continue to mock that bitch. A wide grin spread across my lips. In that case, I won't be polite. As I waited waved the advanced soul banner in my hand. The complete 6 paths netherwheel instantly appeared behind me. The bone dragon, with its eyes closed, pretending to be a master, suddenly felt a wave of palpitations. Something's wrong. Why do I feel doubt? Before it could open its eyes, a giant netherwheel smashed into its face, embedding it into the cliff behind it. You cunning bastard, you've been using a substitute to deceive me all this time. Yiling was so shocked she couldn't speak. It was you who refused to believe it. The bone dragon didn't bother with her. This is good too. We can finally have a proper fight. I waved my hand carelessly. A friendly reminder. If you keep getting so excited, your soul and body will disintegrate even faster. Only then did the bone dragon suddenly realize that not only was its own body rapidly collapsing, but its soul was also constantly dissipating. Why am I becoming like this? The only reason you've been able to live until now is because you've been forcefully clinging to your physical body. Now that I've knocked your soul out of your body, this dilapidated body will naturally decay. Speaking of which, I turned my head slightly to look at Yiling. Ordinary attacks can't harm your spirit body, so I borrowed something from Yiling to enchant them. The bone dragon roared with unwillingness. Why? Why do you always one-shot me? I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. The bone dragon's roar suddenly turned into a grieved sob. A fair fight. I would definitely win. Definitely. But I had no mercy. My motto was to hit him while he was down. I swung the super soul banner, and in an instant, the bone dragon's soul was riddled with holes. Amidst the bone dragon's unwilling wails, I walked away slowly with the rustling soul banner on my back. Sorry, a fair fight has never been my style. The moment the bone dragon's soul completely dissipated, the bone energy stored in Yiling's body also instantly disintegrated. Master didn't lie to me. He really defeated the bone dragon. The gate of reincarnation, which had not been opened for hundreds of years, also appeared in the sky above the desolate ancient mystic realm at this moment. All the wandering souls in the mystic realm who could not be reincarnated were uncontrollably attracted to it, pouring into it like a tide. Yiling looked at this scene in confusion. These are souls that have accumulated for hundreds of years. How can they all be subdued so quickly? Lord of the Underworld, haven't you realized yet? The judge's spirit appeared beside her. The reason the ghosts here couldn't be reincarnated was because of the bone dragon's corruption. The ghosts affected by it naturally have to be reincarnated again. Now that the bone dragon has been killed, Yiling puffed out her cheeks and looked at me angrily. Master finally did a good deed, but it's just a patch for his past evil deeds. But the judge shook his head. Lord Daomingzi's plan is much more than that. The reason he didn't completely kill the bone dragon was to attract and infect more bone ghosts, so that this place would become the most suitable place for wandering souls to gather and await reincarnation. Yiling's eyes widened in disbelief. So Master did this so that all souls would have a final resting place, and that's why he painstakingly planned for hundreds of years? The judge nodded heavily. Exactly. A wave of guilt instantly surged in Yiling's heart. To think he was willing to bear a bad name for hundreds of years. I didn't expect Master would do so much for us wandering souls, and at this moment I was surrounded by female disciples. Senior brother Chin, you're amazing. You really beat that bone dragon with underwear. Junior brother Chin is a bit of a pervert, but he's much more reliable than senior brother you at critical moments. I can give you the panties I'm wearing as a reward. Senior brother, can you teach me how to cultivate? I awkwardly pushed through the crowd. No, you seem to have some misunderstanding about me, but that's not the point. The boss has been defeated. No one can stop me from getting my cultivation back. In the pile of the bone dragon's ashes, a long sword glowing with golden light stood quietly. So the true path divine sword was in this bone dragon's body. Then my cultivation fragments should be here too. Ding! Congratulations, host, for defeating the final boss and successfully finding the missing game data. The moment the divine sword was pulled out, the power stored within it began to actively merge with my body. This is the feeling. My power is back. System fragments are automatically merging. Congratulations, host. Your cultivation has been upgraded from golden core to nascent soul. I clenched my left fist, my whole body trembling slightly. I went through all that trouble, and I only got back this little bit of cultivation. Fortunately, the system was considerate enough to offer a top-grade defensive equipment gift package. I was about to open the package to check the details when a sweet voice suddenly sounded from behind me. Master. Yiling rushed towards me with tears in her eyes. I misunderstood you before. You're really not a big demon who has done all kinds of evil. Yiling threw herself into my arms, sending the gift package flying. From now on, no matter what happens, I will never leave you again. Although I didn't understand what was wrong with Yiling, the feeling of hugging a beautiful girl was pretty good. But while I was enjoying the soft jade in my arms, the gift package that had been sent flying opened by itself. The next second, Yiling's whole body lit up with a dazzling golden light. Top-grade defensive equipment has been opened. System is automatically equipping. Under my dumbfounded gaze, the previously tattered and almost naked Yiling suddenly grew fluffy cat ears and a tail. Looking at the maid outfit that had appeared on her body, Yiling was at a loss. How did I become like this? Meow. I silently swallowed my curses. This equipment is amazing. Look at those bouncy cat ears and that long, fluffy little tail. She's the cat girl of my dreams. Yiling swayed her ears unnaturally and purred shyly. Master, what did you do to me? Meow. I wiped my nosebleed and looked at the system curiously. This is what you call top-grade defensive gear? That's right. Not only does this equipment have super high stats, but the host can also control the wearer to a certain extent. Hearing this, my heart couldn't help but rejoice. There's such a good thing. And when Yiling saw me ignoring her, her expression immediately turned cold. I turned around, sweating. I can explain. But Yiling didn't want to listen and flew towards me viciously. Just as I thought I was about to get a beating, I saw Yiling pounce into my arms, hugging my waist tightly and not letting go. The disciples were dumbfounded. Am I under some kind of illusion? The Lord of Reincarnation, the master of all ghosts, is acting like a kitten in junior brother Chin's arms? Yu Shoshin cried out in grief. Why? Why are you two acting out a romance drama while I'm getting my butt stabbed by a big sword? This isn't fair. But I felt no joy in my heart, afraid that this was Yiling's beauty trap to get me to lower my guard and then stab me to death. But the body the bone dragon had reforged for this girl was so soft. The two little buns were quite bouncy. While I was lost in thought, Yiling finally spoke. I misunderstood you before, Master. Meow. This cultivation world is vast, but there's no place for us wandering souls. All ghosts can only wander the world, and you, Master, have borne a bad name for 1,000 years, all to use the bone dragon to reforge reincarnation and give wandering souls a place to rest. This speech left me stunned. What? Did I have such a plan? Whatever. I gently pushed Yiling away and turned my back. Although I don't know how she came up with that. As long as she's not trying to kill me, it's fine. It's best you keep these things to yourself. I, your master, have always been low-key, seeking to hide my merits and fame. As I spoke, I quietly tried to increase the distance and run away, but Yiling hugged me from behind again. I already understand Master's good intentions. From now on, I am willing to follow you and help you complete the great cause that has been misunderstood by others. Cold sweat dripped from my forehead. What's gotten into this girl? Taking her with me is like carrying a bomb. I have to find a way to get rid of her. I turned around again and pushed Yiling away. The land of reincarnation has just been rebuilt. If you leave with me, who will manage this place? Yiling heard this and pulled over the judge's soul. Him. I never managed anything anyway. He handled all the affairs. Endless regret instantly flooded my heart. Why didn't I just send this guy to be reincarnated back then? Things are different now. The desolate ancient mystic realm needs to accommodate all the wandering souls in the cultivation world. Can he really handle it alone? Yiling nodded as if in a daze. That's true. Master is so thoughtful. Ah, Zwa. Ah, you. Merge with your master. Yiling giggled and pointed at the judge merging with the beast man. This way he can handle it. Wait, does a dog's brain count as a brain? Yes. This is what you told me before, Master. You said that in the West. It's very popular to use a three-headed dog to guard the gate. Regret. I was filled with regret. Yiling didn't notice why. Master's plan to reforge reincarnation is complete. Please bestow a name upon this land of reincarnation. I sighed helplessly. It seems I have to take her with me now. I'll just have to trick her, one day at a time. Let's call it the underworld. The moment the words fell, the entire desolate ancient mystic realm began to tremble violently. Ancient, dark buildings rose from the ground, and the main hall in the center had a plaque that read Palace of the Lord of the Underworld. Yiling hugged my arm excitedly and acted cute. As expected of Master, you've even reached the realm of words become law. And Ran, who had been watching for a while, finally couldn't take it anymore and forcefully separated the two clingy. Are you trying to stop me from catching up with Master? Yiling's face darkened as she stared at Ran. And Ran snatched the True Path Divine Sword. Don't get me wrong, I'm not interested in your little affair. It's just that this bastard still owes me a sword. I'm just here to collect a debt. At the same time, outside the mystic realm, the elders of the Empyrean Alliance stared solemnly at the light screen. They really found the True Path Divine Sword? The Yu family head stroked his beard and laughed loudly. After several hundred years, the True Path Divine Sword has finally been found by the Alliance Master's direct disciple. The Empyrean Alliance is saved. The families like the Zhangs, who harbored rebellious intentions, their faces turned ugly. They exchanged glances. We can't delay any longer. A violent spiritual energy instantly gathered. The plan begins now. At this moment, the Yu family head was still immersed in joy, completely unaware of the change in atmosphere. I knew it. The Alliance Master's direct disciple will definitely save the Empyrean Alliance. The Jing family head also nodded in satisfaction. If the Alliance Master can successfully break through, the position of Alliance Master will surely be inherited by Ran. Zhang Liang's figure suddenly appeared behind the Yu family head. Great Elder, you are truly loyal to the Alliance Master. Yu Ji's gaze instantly became sharp. Zhang Liang, what do you mean by that? The Zhang family head chuckled. I just feel it's unfair for the Great Elder. We have risked our lives for the Empyrean Alliance. But Qi Xiao, as the Alliance Master, has been in seclusion for a man. Under the joint efforts of our several families, we have finally managed the sect to this state, only to have her great disciple pick up the ready-made achievements. Isn't this too unfair to us? Zhang Liang slammed the light screen and said indignantly, are you trying to rebel? Don't put it so harshly. I just hope to get the reward I deserve. Yu Ji instantly gathered a large amount of spiritual energy in his hand. Since you are so stubborn, I will first deal with you. This internal threat for the Alliance Master. The Jing family had also gathered his spiritual energy and shouted, I'll help you. But before their attacks could land, a sharp sword suddenly pierced their chests from behind. Yu Ji looked at the Huang family behind him in disbelief. How is this possible? Looking at the two who had fallen, seriously injured, Zhang Liang couldn't help but sneer. there. Great elder, don't you understand yet? Not everyone is as foolish as you. Any family head with a brain would make the right choice. You traitors, have you all forgotten the kindness the Alliance Master showed you back then? Zhang Liang stepped on Yuji's face and ground it repeatedly. Kindness? I only know that the current Qi Xiaoxiao is not worthy of her position. It's a pity the ancestor failed and the divine sword was taken away. But with our current strength, we are more than enough to completely control the situation. From today on, the Empyrean Alliance is the Empyrean Alliance of our 5 great families. Hee. On the other side, in the underworld, Yiling was clinging to my arm and rubbing against me non-stop. I felt as uncomfortable as if ants were crawling on me. Yiling, are you really going to leave the underworld with me? Of course. I said I would never be separated from Master again. Besides, our senior brothers and sisters have all misunderstood Master, especially senior sister. This time, I'm leaving with Master to clear up senior sister's misunderstanding of you. I could only vaguely agree, feeling guilty. What misunderstanding do I have with her? If we really meet, that girl will definitely skin me alive. No, I have to find a way to shake her off. And Ran, who had been following behind, couldn't help but puff out her cheeks. Why are these two so intimate? They sound like they knew each other before. No matter what their relationship is, I absolutely cannot let anyone else take away a money tree like Qin Shou. Thinking this, she immediately strode forward and pulled Yiling away. Weren't you just trying to kill junior brother Qin? Why are you so intimate now? Yiling pouted unhappily. What I do with Master seems to have nothing to do with you, right? A mere ghost shouldn't be trying to have a romance like a little girl. What did you say? Even your master wouldn't dare to talk to me like that. And I'm not a ghost anymore. Seeing the two arguing endlessly, I couldn't help but shake my head helplessly. As expected, my damn charm becomes the focus wherever I go. Arguing all the way, everyone unknowingly arrived at the exit. Ding! Friendly reminder. The contract between the host and Ran has been completed. Doesn't that mean I'm completely free? I quietly glanced at the two who were still focused on arguing, and I couldn't help but grin from ear to ear. Now, as long as I can find a way to escape their sight, I'm truly free. You guys can argue here slowly. I suddenly have a stomachache and need to find a place to use the toilet. At the same time, the Zhang family's flying ship just happened to break into the mystic realm. Family head, all the disciples of the Empyrean Alliance have come out. What should we do with them? Zhang Liang suddenly raised his hand and shouted, capture all the disciples who are not related to our several families. Those who resist, kill them. With a command, the experts of the 5 great families rushed down from the flying ship. But before they could land, they saw a figure speeding away from the crowd. There's a lone one over there. So, after running for only half a li, I was suddenly blocked by 2 big men with blades. Hand over your storage ring and surrender. Obediently return to the Empyrean Alliance with us and await judgment. Hearing this, my heart sank. Why did the Empyrean Alliance suddenly send people to capture me? Did Qi Xiaoxiao already find out my identity? Only an idiot would sit and wait to be captured. Goodbye. The 2 of them teleported in front of me, but the next second, they mercilessly pierced my heart. Seeing that I was completely dead, the 2 of them skillfully went to search for loot. But after a while, they stood up with dark faces. Pa, this kid doesn't even have a single spirit stone on him, and he's carrying women's underwear. Poor and perverted. What bad luck. I'll have to find a place to wash my sword later. And on the other side, the disciples of the Empyrean Alliance were all attacked to varying degrees. Xing Jingren frowned and blocked the front. Why are people from the sect suddenly attacking us? Now is not the time to worry about that. Protect our junior brothers and sisters first. Hearing this, Yu Shouxing's mouth curved up slightly. Although I don't know what's going on, it's time for me to redeem my image again. Thinking this, he immediately charged into the crowd with his sword. Junior brothers and sisters, don't be afraid. Your senior brother is here. The disciples immediately praised him loudly. Senior brother Yu's swordsmanship is so cool. Yu Shouxing, who had successfully redeemed some of his image, was overjoyed and planned to pose for a while, completely forgetting that his tattered but was still bleeding. The leading man saw this and immediately shouted, he has a wound on his butt. Aim for his butt. Yu Shouxing, whose weakness had been exposed, turned and ran. Can't you hit somewhere else? And on the other side, Yiling was directly surrounded by 4 people. This little girl is not bad looking, and she has cat ears. Yiling's fingertips suddenly gathered a large amount of spiritual energy. Insolent fools, taste my nether art, underworld finger. Seeing the imposing manner of this move, the 4 men's faces instantly showed panic. Just as they were about to use their full strength to receive the move, they saw Yiling's fingertips spurt out a puddle of yellow water. Ha, nether art. Do you think you're the Lord of Reincarnation? You should perform this trick in my bed. Yiling blinked awkwardly. Damn it, I forgot Master took my 6 paths nether wheel. Crack! The neck of the cultivator who was leading the mockery directly twisted into a pretzel. To deal with you, I don't even need to use nether arts. The remaining 3 people's eyes immediately showed fear, and their laughter stopped abruptly. This little girl is a bit strong. Let's attack together and kill her. And Ran was also besieged by multiple people, but with the True Path Divine Sword she had just found, she could still barely cope. Although I knew the Zhang family was after the True Path Divine Sword, I didn't expect them to act so quickly. On the flying ship not far away, Zhang Liang stared at Ran with greedy eyes. As expected of the True Path Divine Sword, even at Ran's level, it can exert such power, but it will soon be mine. Heavenly Meteor Flame Palm. Hearing the roar from behind her, and Ran hurriedly swung the True Path Divine Sword to meet the attack. But Ran's cultivation was ultimately low, and she was directly slammed into the cliff by Zhang Liang's palm. Zhang Liang chuckled and pulled out the Divine Sword. "This sword is too important. A young lady like you is probably not capable of handling it." And Ran clutched her arm and cursed, "You traitors. Aren't you afraid Master will kill you all after she comes out of seclusion?" The other family heads glanced at her with contempt. "Kill us all? Don't forget that the Empyrean Alliance only exists today because of the support of our several families." And Ran suddenly realized something. "The Yu family head and the Jing family head? What did you do to them?" Zhang Liang glanced at her coldly for the last time. "That's not something you should be concerned about. Tie these people up. We'll take them back together later." Just as Zhang Liang finished dealing with Ran and Yiling, the great elder ran over in a panic. "Family head, it's bad. We didn't find the whereabouts of Hanger, the ancestor, or Qin Shou. We did find 2 big fat pigs, though. What should we do with them?" "Search again. That kid Qin Shou has been lying to us from the beginning. We have to catch him, dead or alive. As for these 2 pigs, of course, we'll slaughter them for meat. You're not thinking of raising them, are you? Ancestor, Hanger, you just wait. Once I catch that kid, I'll definitely chop him into 1,000 pieces to avenge you." Meanwhile, I, who should have been dead, suddenly opened my eyes. I sat up with a smile and patted the dirt off my chest. A mere bunch of grunts trying to kill me? The reason I, Dao Mingzi, can still roam free despite countless enemies is because of this log-off technique. The system looked at me with a complicated expression. "To think of hiding your consciousness in the system space to feign death. Host, you might really be a genius." I had just straightened my clothes when I heard a noisy clamor from not far away. "Walk faster. Don't try any tricks." In a large group of captives, I quickly found Ran and Yiling. The Zhang family is quite professional. They even block the exit. The system excitedly opened the panel to issue a quest. Next up is the classic trash host heroically saves the beauty plot. I punched the system to the ground. I just got my freedom back. I couldn't be happier. Save who? The system, despite being hit, looked at me with a malicious grin instead of anger. "Congratulations, host. The system has found the location of the next fragment." A bad feeling suddenly rose in my heart. "It's in the secret vault of the Empyrean Alliance." As expected, I grabbed the system and roared, "Damn it, why didn't you say so when we were in the Empyrean Alliance?" The system spread its hands cheekily. "The script is written this way. This system has no power to change it. Besides, the host at that time hadn't found the True Path Divine Sword, the key to the treasury." Hearing this, my heart suddenly jumped. "That's right, the Divine Sword is with that old thing from the Zhang family now. I have to solo 5 Grandmasters." "Wait, what? How did I have such an extreme thought?" No, the Empyrean Alliance is so dangerous right now. I'll do this high-risk mission after they've finished their internal strife." The system, seeing me turn to leave, hurriedly blocked my path. "Host, if you just leave like this, what about the harem you worked so hard to max out your affection with?" As soon as he said this, I immediately remembered Yiling, lying on my chest, crying and vowing to help me complete my great cause. "That's right, you reminded me. Host, have you changed your mind? If you hadn't said it, I would have almost forgotten. My completion reward is still on Yiling. That's a whole set of mythical equipment. Can you help me retrieve it?" The system huffed and waved its hand. "Equipment and items can only be retrieved through contact." I gritted my teeth and looked at the departing flying ship. "So if I don't enter the Empyrean Alliance, this damn plot won't advance, right? But I'm a nascent soul cultivator now. Even if I can't win, I can abandon my body and escape. But how do I sneak into the Empyrean Alliance? My identity as the Zhang family's ancestor has been exposed. I need a new disguise." As I was thinking, I heard cursing mixed with the sound of flowing water from behind me. "I'm so done with those Empyrean Alliance disciples. A bunch of trash, and they had to resist for so long." I almost burst my bladder. I exchanged a look with the system, both of us grinning cunningly. And so, a rock the size of a head flew straight at the back of the urinating man's head, physically sending him to the next life. Just what I needed. I slowly walked to the man's side and grabbed his disembodied soul. "Next, I'll be borrowing your soul and clothes." On the Zhang family's flying ship, Zhang Liang's angry roars echoed continuously. "You couldn't find Qin Shou and Hanger in the entire desolate ancient mystic realm? You bunch of good-for-nothings. Could that Qin Shou have teleported away with Hanger? And I never would have thought that this lucky guy was actually the old man's personal guard. Luckily, the mask blocked my spiritual energy, so my identity wouldn't be discovered for a while. Searching aimlessly like this is pointless." "Zhang San, you come with me to interrogate Ran and the others." A colleague elbowed me, who was standing still. "What are you spacing out for? The family head is calling you." Hearing this, I quickly followed. So this guy is called Zhang San. What a lawless name. In the prison of the flying ship, upon seeing Zhang Liang and the others arrive, Ran immediately rushed to the cell door and cursed, "Old dog Zhang Liang, you ungrateful bastard. You dare to betray master. I curse your entire Zhang family to die in poverty." A purple flame rose in Zhang Liang's palm, and he slammed it at Ran's chest. "Cut the crap. If you don't want to suffer anymore, just tell me where Qin Shou and Hanger are." Ran sneered. "A coward like that probably found a place to hide long ago." Before Zhang Liang could retort, Yiling jumped in to defend me. "Master is not like that. Master will definitely come to save us. He's probably waiting for the right moment, right by our side." I, who was following behind Zhang Liang, suddenly stiffened. What the hell? Did she see through my disguise? Fortunately, the two of them didn't notice my abnormality. personality. You seem to have a lot of confidence in that kid. I won't misunderstand Master again. He will definitely help us in secret." As the two argued, the Great Elder walked over with a joyful expression. "Very good. I'll go and open the treasury door now." Family head, "We've arrived at the treasury. Also, bring them both. I hope what this girl said is true. Chinsho, you'd better come and save them." A moment later, the flying ship slowly landed in front of the sect's treasury. Zhang Liang, holding the divine sword, jumped off the ship excitedly. "All the treasures of the sect are finally ours." As he spoke, he channeled his spiritual energy to communicate with the True Path divine sword. "Treasury, open for me." The moment the treasury opened, Qi Xiao, who was in seclusion in a secret room far away, suddenly opened her eyes. "The treasury has been opened." As the treasury slowly opened, the eyes of the various family heads lit up with excitement. "Great! The treasures of the Empyrean Alliance are finally ours. Then I, Zhang Liang, will be the righteous leader who commands the world." Hearing this, I couldn't help but frown slightly. If I let them enter the treasury first, will it affect my search for the lost data? Just as I was thinking about how to stop them, a loud roar suddenly sounded from the sky. "Stop!" The next second, a graceful figure slammed down into the center of the crowd. Qi Xiao's gaze swept coldly over everyone present. "No one is to open this treasury." My expression stiffened, and I cursed inwardly. Isn't this woman in seclusion? Why is she out again? And the guilty family heads were even more flustered. Isn't Qi Xiao in a death seclusion for that man? Why did she suddenly appear? We haven't gotten the things in the treasury yet. It's not good to directly confront her. Zhang Liang saw this and snorted contemptuously. Just a little girl with her head full of men. What's there to be afraid of? Family head Zhang is indeed more. Chu Nan had just started to speak when he saw Zhang Liang fawningly explaining to Qi Xiao, "Alliance Master, you've been in seclusion for many years and may not know. My son, Hanger, accidentally found the True Path divine sword in the mystic realm. We have come this time to retrieve the treasures and revitalize the sect." Then he directly knelt on one knee and shouted, "I beseech the Alliance Master to open the treasury and revitalize the Empyrean Alliance." The other family heads saw this and followed suit, kneeling and shouting, "We beseech the Alliance Master to open the treasury and revitalize the Empyrean Alliance." Qi Xiao, hearing this, seemed to remember something, and a faint blush appeared on her cheeks. "Even if you say so, it's not possible. The things inside, they absolutely cannot be seen by others." Her silent attitude, in Zhang Liang's eyes, was a sign of suspicion. Although there's a risk in acting directly, if our several family heads join forces, we might not necessarily lose. And as her master, I could see at a glance that this silly girl was being fooled, as if I would let their plan succeed. So I grabbed and ran and gave Qi Xiao an internationally friendly gesture. "You stubborn woman, you don't know what's good for you. If you don't want your direct disciple to die, then obediently get out of the way." The previously lively atmosphere, with everyone talking at once, instantly fell silent enough to hear a pin drop. The shyness on Qi Xiao's face instantly disappeared, replaced by a cold killing intent that enveloped everyone present. The five family heads forced themselves to turn their heads against the killing intent, looking at the big smartass standing in the crowd. "Zhang San, you idiot, why did you have to say that to her?" While cursing, Zhang Liang quickly teleported, narrowly avoiding the incoming sword intent. What did you do to?" and ran. Knowing that he could no longer hide it, Zhang Liang unhesitatingly gathered two balls of spiritual fire and shouted, "We've been exposed. Attack." Qi Xiao huffed in frustration, and the surrounding spiritual energy swirled into her body like a vortex. "You bunch of damn traitors." Five elements: sword art, wind, and thunder. Seeing the two sides finally fighting, I quickly ran to the Great Elder's side to add fuel to the fire. "Great Elder, go and help the family head. I'll go and call for reinforcements." Watching the Great Elder join the battle, I couldn't help but reveal a cunning smile. Fight. When you're both beaten and bruised, the treasures will all be mine." Host, you really don't hesitate to screw over your own harem. I opened the door and said disdainfully, "Women only slow down my leveling speed, especially women who want to kill me." On the other side, Qi Xiao, with her five elements sword art, was beating Zhang Liang and Chu Nan back. Huang Pian, seeing this, quietly circled around to her back, looking for an opportunity to ambush her, but when his dagger stabbed into Qi Xiao's back, it was like stabbing stone, making a clanging sound. By the time he came to his senses, Qi Xiao had already turned around and cut off his neck with a single stroke. Zhang Liang and the others were shocked. "Impossible. She has cultivated a golden body? Has this woman touched the legendary realm?" As if sensing their thoughts, Qi Xiao's aura rose several levels again. "There are differences between earthly immortals. As long as I'm here, you won't be able to turn the tables." Just as she was about to strike and completely quell this rebellion, a loud boom from behind made her stop and look back. A dazzling light from the treasures shone out from the slowly opening treasury. Wow, a golden legendary. For a moment, everyone stopped what they were doing and stared at the treasury. But when I saw what was inside, I was completely stunned. Wait, what the hell is all this stuff? In the center of the treasury was a large, handsome profile picture of me. On the right, various clothes were neatly hung, with a label that read "Clothes worn by Master." On the left, a miscellaneous collection of weapons were neatly arranged on a rack, and a bamboo skewer, placed separately under my photo, was carefully protected by a defensive artifact. What the hell is all this? I thought there were some treasures in this secret vault. Why Why is it all stuff I've used? Is this woman a perverted stalker? The system next to me was also stunned by the scene. As expected of the first female lead to reach max affection. To think she would go to this extent. Then she elbowed my back with a playful look. Congratulations, host. It looks like Chi Xiao Xiao definitely. I noticed it too. She must hate my guts. See this sword that looks so powerful? The system looked over, confused. What's so special about it? Isn't it just an ordinary low-grade artifact? Exactly. But it's also the fake spirit sword I used to scam money when the Empyrean Alliance was first founded and we were broke. At that time, I was afraid that silly girl wouldn't be able to lie, so I scammed her along with it. She cried and said I had sacrificed too much. So I just said some nonsense like, as long as I can fulfill your dream, I'm willing to sacrifice anything. I didn't expect her to find this sword again to remind herself. Isn't it because she felt guilty and specifically bought it back? I looked at the system like it was an idiot. What nonsense are you talking about? It's not like Chi Xiao Xiao is the type to not distinguish between kindness and enmity. The host was just trying to help her. Then how do you explain this bamboo skewer? What's wrong with this bamboo skewer? Back then, I brought her some candied haws, but I accidentally dropped them and they got run over by a carriage. I was too lazy to go back and buy new ones, so I told her it was a special flat candied haw. The system listened and floated away with a disgusted look. Even I can't help but want to slap you twice after hearing that. See, it would be a miracle if she let me go. With that, I quickly started searching for the data. I absolutely cannot be discovered by her now. Don't just stand there. Help me find the fragment so we can get out of here. The system sighed helplessly. What a timid host. Then it began to help me search. Host, I have good news and bad news. Which do you want to hear first? I continued to pack various weapons and equipment without stopping. What good and bad? What's going on? The good news is that the new fragment is indeed in this treasury. That's good. Which item is it? The bad news is that everything in this treasury has a scanning reaction. What the hell? Are you telling me I have to take all this stuff with me? Pretty much. But even if you take it all, you might not be able to get the lost data. It seems to require some special unlocking method. Open your damn eyes and see how much stuff is here. I couldn't fit it all even if I crammed you full. It's the system space. Host, please don't say things that could be misunderstood. Just as I was raging at the system, Zhang Liang's wild laughter suddenly came from the entrance. Haha, bitch, you can't stop me. The treasures of the Empyrean Alliance should belong to all the families who participated. After breaking into the secret vault, Zhang Liang was also stunned by the scene before him. So that's it. No wonder that bitch wouldn't let anyone in. I didn't expect that the secret vault of the Empyrean Alliance contained the inheritance of the demon lord Dao Mingzi. I didn't expect Chi Xiao Xiao to be unable to stop this old man. I was about to sneak away when I bumped into the approaching Zhang Liang. Family head, you've come at the right time. Your subordinate has already scouted out the traps in the treasury. Please feel free to loot. But this old bastard, without a word, attacked me with zero warning. Zhang San, you traitor. You were trying to sneak away and still tried to trick me? Wait, how did this old bastard suddenly grow a brain? At such a close distance, I had no time to dodge and had to take his heavenly meteor flame palm head on. Just as Zhang Liang thought I would explode on the spot, he was stunned by the scene before him. The numerous spirit tools I had packed in my bag all activated on their own and blocked the attack. Zhang Liang roared in fear. Such powerful treasures. How can a lowly slave like you control them? I looked at these spirit treasures with satisfaction. It seems you still remember who your master is. But before I could gloat for 2 seconds, a loud explosion suddenly came from outside the door. Huang, with a weakened aura, leaned against the door and urged, Family head Zhang, quickly help us with the divine weapon. We can't hold on any longer. At this moment, Chi Xiao Xiao was like a demon god, walking slowly towards everyone. You all saw it, right? Seeing that the 4 old geezers couldn't even stop Chi Xiao Xiao, I instantly broke out in a cold sweat. Unexpectedly, in this girl's eyes, the priority of killing me should be far higher than dealing with the sex rebellion. Dealing with one old undead was already difficult enough. With her, I really can't stop them. Just as I was in a dilemma, Zhang Liang suddenly proposed a temporary truce. Our conflict is for the benefit of our clans. Let's not let an outsider take advantage. The two looked at each other, their eyes seemingly filled with the great cause of their families. Alright, I'll count to 3, and we'll stop together. But the moment the countdown ended, a huge explosion suddenly rang out. Die, old thing, dog slave. Ouch, you dog slave, you were trying to trick me. Old fossil, you have the nerve to say that about me? This scene of them cursing each other out brought tears of excitement to Chi Xiao Xiao's eyes. This shameless demeanor, it really is him. The next second, the 5-element sword formation instantly appeared around her. The terrifying pressure directly interrupted our argument. Damn it, this move is definitely aimed at me. That old fossil Zhang Liang has really screwed me over. Zhang Liang also felt the threat of death. No, it's not worth dying with this dog slave. I absolutely cannot die here. So he quickly let go of me and dodged. But how could I let this old fossil get away unscathed? The moment he let go, I simultaneously controlled 2 spirit swords and the bamboo skewer to stab at Zhang Liang's chest. And Chi Xiao Xiao's big move missed, instead blowing a hole in the main peak of the Empyrean Alliance. This huge commotion immediately attracted the attention of all the disciples. What's going on? What happened at the main peak? But before they could go and check, the soldiers of the rebellious families rushed over and shouted, There are traitors causing trouble in the alliance. The family heads have have declared a full-scale martial law. All disciples are to return to their rooms immediately. The disciples, of course, would not obediently listen. You're not from the Empyrean Alliance. What right do you have to interfere in our internal affairs? Do you have a martial law order from the Alliance Master? Seeing the two sides about to draw their swords, a self-proclaimed old man finally walked out of the crowd to appease them. My young friends, please calm down. The martial law will be lifted after the rebellion is cleared. Are you an elder of the Chu family? The old man stroked his beard and chuckled. Since this young friend recognizes me, you must also be from a major clan. Why not listen to my advice? The yellow-haired disciple cupped his hands at the old man. This disciple is a newly joined disciple of the Yu family. He had only spoken halfway when a red light suddenly flashed across his neck. Under the horrified gazes of the surrounding disciples, the Yu family disciple's head fell to the ground with a thud. The gushing blood splattered on everyone. The Chu elder's gaze was contemptuous as he withdrew his fly whisk. If you had said you were from the Yu family's trash earlier, I wouldn't have wasted my breath. If you encounter anyone from the Yu or Xing families, just kill them directly. The rebel leader acknowledged and then led his men to kill the residences of the Zhang and Yu families. And on the other side, in the treasury, Zhang Liang, with two spirit swords stuck in him, could barely stand straight. No wonder you acted so strangely today, Zhang San. I didn't expect you, the great alliance master of the Empyrean Alliance, to have an affair with my dog slave. As soon as he said this, not to mention Qi Xiaoxiao's reaction, I was instantly triggered. What the hell? I'm warning you, old fossil, don't slander people. But while I was vehemently denying it, Qi Xiaoxiao suddenly snorted. So what? What the hell? Isn't this little girl the most concerned about her reputation? Before I could recover from my shock, I saw Zhang Liang suddenly pull up the spirit swords from his body. You think you've already won, so you're not afraid of me talking? Unfortunately, my Zhang family's heavenly black flame is a divine fire for refining weapons. All the treasures here can be forcefully taken by me. The moment he successfully refined the spirit sword, I heard the system's notification at the same time. Congratulations, host, for successfully collecting a fragment of a system fragment. It turns out that by extracting the soul extinguishing tower's seal on the weapon, you can obtain a system fragment. An evil smile unconsciously appeared on my face. In that case, I seem to have a way. In the brief moment I was thinking, Zhang Liang was already holding the refined spirit sword and slashing at Qi Xiaoxiao. You damn woman, go to hell. But Qi Xiaoxiao's expression didn't even change. She just casually raised her hand and blocked the attack. I, the Alliance Master, have been in seclusion for many years to defeat Dao Mingzi. What makes you think you can easily defeat me with one or two of his weapons? But as soon as she finished speaking, she saw me throw a large number of artifacts at Zhang Liang. Family head, don't be discouraged. If one or two aren't enough, just use more to overwhelm her. Zhang Liang held a pile of artifacts and nodded blankly. Oh, okay. Then, a miscellaneous collection of weapons swarmed towards Qi Xiaoxiao, and as I listened to the continuous notifications in my ear, my mouth was about to split with laughter. I thought it would be so troublesome, but it's this simple. Even the system couldn't stand it anymore. To find your cultivation, you're actually putting your great disciple in a desperate situation. Host, you're a bit too heartless. Shut up. Isn't it all your fault, you useless system? Just then, Qi Xiaoxiao suddenly shouted, Dao Mingzi, what on earth are you doing? I pointed at myself, completely bewildered. Is the Alliance Master talking to me? Stop pretending. I'd recognize you even if you were turned to ash. Show me your true face. I didn't expect Qi Xiaoxiao to suddenly pull this move, but when she saw my true face, she was stunned and rooted to the spot. Zhang Yuga, how could it be you? I told you, you've got the wrong person. Zhang Yuga, who had been pulled out to be a scapegoat again, was on the verge of tears. Big boss, please let me go. Why do you think I've been keeping you around? Shut up and cooperate. And at this moment, Qi Xiaoxiao was staring at the human skin mask in her hand, lost in thought. How could this be? Did that scoundrel really never appear again? Seeing Qi Xiaoxiao's aura suddenly fluctuate greatly, Zhang Liang became excited. Her realm is unstable now, a great opportunity. As he spoke, he leaped up with a large hammer and slammed it at Qi Xiaoxiao's head. This time, there was no reversal. Qi Xiaoxiao was sent flying like a bullet, but she completely disregarded her injuries, kneeling on the ground and murmuring in despair, it's really not him. Why? Was it all just my wishful thinking from the beginning? This scene didn't make me feel any pity. In fact, I secretly praised that old bastard for his good timing. I even took the initiative to send over some weapon supplies. Family head, you're amazing. Hurry up and continue refining. Don't give this woman a chance to breathe. Zhang Liang was about to do as he was told when he suddenly realized something was wrong. Wait, aren't you having an affair with Qi Xiaoxiao? Why are you helping me? Family head, you misunderstand. I was just pretending to be on her side. Didn't you see that Qi Xiaoxiao has already lost her will to fight because of me? This was all part of my plan. Zhang Liang was at a loss. Now is a critical time. I'll let you off the hook for now. As he was refining the numerous artifacts, he suddenly noticed something strange mixed in. He picked up the bamboo skewer and examined it closely. What is this thing? Whatever. Anything of Dao Mingzi's can't be weak. I'll refine it first. The previously dispirited Qi Xiaoxiao seemed to sense something and instantly came to her senses, shouting at Zhang Liang. But Zhang Liang, instead of stopping, accelerated the spiritual fire. Almost at the same instant the spiritual fire rose. The bamboo skewer instantly turned to ash. Looking at the frozen Qi Xiaoxiao, A chill inexplicably ran down my spine. I turned and was about to sneak away. This girl's state is not right. I have a feeling something big is about to happen. But before I could take a few steps, a terrifying pressure suddenly erupted from her body, sending both me and Zhang Liang flying. It seems it was all in my head after all. He's not coming back. The next second, a five-colored spiritual light once again gathered on her sword's edge. Since these thoughts are now gone, I have nothing more to expect from him. The system, with the look of someone who had just seen a great romance, sidled up to me. Qi Xiaoxiao's words were definitely meant for Dao Mingzi. She really has feelings for you. Seeing me lost in thought and not replying, she got angry and roared in my ear. Host, did you hear me? Is this the time for romance? If we don't think of a way, she's going to kill us all. So I quickly gathered a large pile of weapons. Old Undying, stop looking. If you don't refine more weapons to deal with this, you can go and watch with your dear mother in heaven. In the brief moment of their exchange, Qi Xiaoxiao had already finished charging her ultimate move. Today, this sword will not only cut you down, but also all my feelings for him. 5 elements in one, sword of heaven and earth. Looking at the sword momentum sweeping towards them like a golden dragon, I quickly pulled out a shield and threw it to Zhang Liang. Faced with the threat of death, Zhang Liang didn't care about anything else and poured all his lifelong cultivation into the shield. No, I can't block it. Hearing this, I quickly picked out a few more weapons and threw them to him. Then just refine a few more together. If you're slow, we'll all die here. Listening to the continuous system notifications in my ear, I wished Zhang Liang could grow 8 arms to refine them, just as only a few items were left to complete the quest. Zhang Liang couldn't hold on any longer. Boom! A terrifying sword momentum instantly flattened the main peak summit. Looking at the empty mountain, Qi Xiaoxiao sighed with a sense of loss. It's all over. But as soon as she finished speaking, a long sword suddenly pierced her from behind. Dao Mingzi? A cold smile appeared on my lips. It's been so many years. Xiao, why are you still so careless? Enraged, Qi Xiaoxiao's body trembled, and she forcefully broke the long sword in my hand. Then, disregarding the wound in her chest, she turned and swung her sword at me with all her might. Seeing this, I quickly retreated to dodge. What a crazy woman. Every time I fight you, I have to waste a bunch of swords. As I spoke, I threw away the broken sword in my hand and reached out impatiently to the dumbfounded Zhang Liang. Are you blind? Hurry up and hand me a sword. Wait, director, cut. Where the hell did this imposter come from? Are you sure my account hasn't been hacked? The system was also confused by this scene. Ah, the host is indeed using the original account. My god, I think I get it. This person is your illegitimate son. Host, I punched the system. Illegitimate my ass. I'm still a virgin. Just then, Qi Xiaoxiao pointed her sword at the imposter in question. You've been lurking for so many years, just to collude with the several great families to destroy the Empyrean Alliance. Hearing this, I couldn't help but complain wildly in my heart. Are you crazy? Why would I destroy the Empyrean Alliance for no reason? If I could, I'd rather stay far away from you all. But this damn imposter actually admitted it directly. That's right, but what I want to destroy is not just the Empyrean Alliance. What I want to destroy is the entire cultivation world. Alright, I get it now. No wonder Yiling keeps saying I want to destroy the world. It turns out there's a high-level imposter out there ruining my reputation. I have no grudge against this world. Why would I want to destroy it? Don't make me out to be the final boss at the end of the story. Although the host has no grudge against the world might not feel the same way about you. And after hearing the imposter's outrageous statement, Qi Xiaoxiao immediately took out a talisman to prepare a big move. I was wrong. For a complete scoundrel like you, I should never have held out any hope. 5 elements sword art, heavenly tribulation thunder. While the two were fighting fiercely, I noticed something strange. If this guy is really the original me, then dealing with Qi Xiaoxiao should be a piece of cake. Why is he struggling so much with that crappy 5 elements sword art? The system nodded with a serious expression. Indeed. So, is the host planning to kill the imposter to clear your name? I held a pile of equipment and glanced at the system with disdain. Do you think I have nothing better to do? If I don't take this opportunity to finish refining the items and run, I'll feel guilty. Family head, all of Dao Mingzi's remaining items are here. Hurry up and refine them so we can deal with Qi Xiaoxiao together. Right, I almost forgot the important stuff. The engrossed Zhang Liang quickly came to his senses and picked up a few weapons to continue his work. Alliance Master Qi, you should just surrender obediently. But Qi Xiaoxiao just casually swung her sword and easily shattered the equipment Zhang Liang had painstakingly refined. I didn't care about this at all. They were just trash I didn't want anymore. It's fine if they're broken, as long as I can get the game data. Seeing that she couldn't take down the imposter, Qi Xiaoxiao seemed to have made a decision. She suddenly spat a mouthful of blood essence onto her long sword. Then, streams of blood energy flowed out of her 7 orifices, turning into a blood-red light that quickly merged with the sword. Dao Mingzi, I will absolutely not let you continue to do evil, even if it costs me my life. Weeping blood sword. Seeing Qi Xiaoxiao suddenly start to burn her life force, the imposter immediately panicked. Wait, are you serious? And what answered him was a towering blood-red shadow. With a terrifying explosion, the completely burned-out Qi Xiaoxiao suddenly fell from the sky. But when she saw the figure that had been split in 2, she couldn't help but laugh out loud. I succeeded. I finally succeeded in killing you, you demon lord. But as soon as she finished speaking, the split figure you're merged back together. I didn't expect that the Great Alliance Master would be tricked into using her trump card by a mere heart demon illusion. Qi Xiaoxiao's eyes widened in disbelief. How is that possible? That was a heart demon illusion? So that means you're a demonic cultivator. You're only just realizing now. Don't you think it's a bit too late? Alliance Master Qi, knowing that she had been greatly deceived, Qi Xiaoxiao couldn't help but cough up another large mouthful of blood. Then she turned around and cursed angrily. You betrayed the alliance and seized power. That's one thing, but you even dared to collude with demonic cultivators. But Zhang Liang sneered disdainfully. I'm just being pragmatic. This scene also stunned me for a moment. Why would a demonic cultivator appear here? Back then, under my mediation, the Empyrean Alliance and the demonic cultivators should have reconciled. In reality, I had taken advantage of the war between the righteous and demonic factions to secretly steal all their supplies, causing both sides to abandon the war and unite to hunt me down. Just then, the system next to me suddenly exclaimed, I found it. This demonic cultivator is the mother of that Huang Zhuoyan next to Zhang Yuhang. Hearing this, I approached her with great interest. Whoa, when did you learn to use a box weapon? You found game data, so of course my functions have upgraded. But when I saw the name of this demonic cultivator, I couldn't help but cry out in surprise. Huang Dudu, what kind of name is that? The system waved its hand dismissively. She's a demonic cultivator. It's normal for her name to be a bit strange. Huang Dudu, who had heard all of this, couldn't hold it in any longer and roared at me. Do you have no culture? Those three characters are pronounced Huangjai. Then she turned and pointed at the spectating Zhang Liang. You old geezer, can't you control your own subordinate? Zhang Liang saw this and immediately scolded me. Although the demonic cultivator's name is indeed strange, you are not to mention it again. While they were bickering, Qi Xiaoxiao finally managed to stand up shakily. To be deceived by that person even at a time like this. I'm truly a hopeless idiot, but if you want to destroy the Empyrean Alliance, you'll have to step over my dead body. Huang Dudu was not flustered at all and laughed wildly. Your dantian is connected to your brain. Your instincts have replaced your thoughts. You've already exhausted your spiritual energy. What right do you have to be arrogant in front of me? Watch me transform my body into a blade, my form into a shadow. Purple mood, open. Looking at the buxom old woman striking a magical girl transformation pose, I couldn't help but burst out laughing. You little brat, I've had enough of you. You've been laughing at me since the beginning and haven't stopped. I curled up in a ball and pounded the ground, trying to suppress my laughter. Sorry, I just remembered something happy. My wife gave birth. No, I'm just so excited to see our great cause about to succeed. Seeing my insincere and exaggerated behavior, the veins on Huang Dudu's forehead throbbed. I'll deal with you after I'm done with Qi Xiaoxiao. Then she no longer hesitated and transformed into a purple meatball, crashing towards Qi Xiaoxiao with all her might. Qi Xiaoxiao saw this and quickly swung her sword to block, but at the end of her rope, she couldn't hold on for long. In just a few breaths, she was beaten by Huang Dudu until her clothes were tattered and she was in a sorry state. Host, are you still not going to do anything? Your great disciple is about to be beaten to death. I glanced at the system impatiently. Are you kidding me? A great opportunity like this. Of course I'm going to collect the remaining fragments. The system's face turned ugly and it turned away. Damn it, this scoundrel has no idea what kind of responsibility he bears. I have to find a way to provoke him. So just as I had collected all the data fragments, a quest box suddenly popped up in front of me. Congratulations, host, for successfully unlocking the main quest. Please defeat the demonic forces invading the Empyrean Alliance and obtain the key item. Reward, legendary defensive gear, dragon and tiger strength pills, and 10 jade maiden pills. I turned my head stiffly to look at the system. Can I not do this main quest? Of course you can, but if you abandon the quest, the host will never be able to return to the original world. Hearing this, my mentality instantly exploded. You still say you're not trying to screw me over? Making me solo 5 grandmasters was ridiculous enough. Now you want me to fight off the entire demonic realm? The system hurriedly transformed back to its original form to dodge the attack. Don't worry, host, you haven't redeemed your data fragments yet. I looked up with surprise. I almost forgot about that. If I raise my realm again, I should have some room to maneuver. As I spoke, a vast spiritual energy quickly poured into my body. I feel a very powerful force. Congratulations, player, for upgrading from the nascent soul stage to the nascent soul stage. What the hell? Where's my realm? Where did you hide my realm? Believe it or not, I'll have that purple mood enlighten you too. Host, calm down. You've now been upgraded to the late nascent soul stage. Although it can't help you break through to a major realm, it has unlocked other special skills. On the other side, Huang Dudu slowly floated in front of Qi Xiaoxiao, who had completely lost the ability to resist. Farewell, my alliance master Qi. Just as she was about to bring down her demonic claw, a heavenly thunderbolt suddenly struck, forcing Huang Dudu back. Looking at the familiar figure in front of her, Qi Xiaoxiao couldn't help but murmur in a daze. A heart demon, another heart demon. How many times are you going to play tricks on me before you're satisfied? A wicked smile appeared on my lips. Silly girl, you always say I'm a fool, but you can't even tell the difference between reality and illusion yourself? Hearing this light yet familiar tone, Qi Xiaoxiao's thoughts were instantly pulled back 2,000 years. At that time, the previous emperor had just passed away, and the young emperor had ascended the throne. Her father, as a prefect, was unwilling to go along with the corrupt officials officials in the court and was framed for rebellion, leading to the execution of his entire family. At that time, she was still young and didn't understand why her father, who was deeply loved by the people, was branded a rebel by the court. She only felt that her father had done something wrong and had been sad and ashamed about it ever since. Afterwards, although she escaped the pursuit of the officials, she ended up wandering the streets. After a few days, she unfortunately contracted a plague and was on the verge of death. Fortunately, she met a kind-hearted fortune teller who saved her and raised her as his adopted daughter. Many years later, she learned that this old fortune teller who had adopted her was actually the master of the Equilibrium Immortal sect. And it was in this place that she met me, who had just started the game and was crazily running through the novice quests. But at that time, she was like a walking corpse. Cultivation was the only meaning of her life. However, during a team exploration of a mystic realm, they unexpectedly encountered a powerful demon. To cover the retreat of her junior brothers and sisters, she resolutely decided to stay behind and fight to the death. But in terms of both realm and strength, she was far inferior to the demon beast. In just a few breaths, she was seriously injured. As she watched the demon beast approach step by step, she felt no fear in her heart. Instead, she felt as if the burden that had been weighing on her chest for years had finally been lifted. Am I going to die here? So be it. I should have died long ago anyway. Just then, behind a giant rock not far away, a series of wails and howls suddenly sounded. Damn system, are you really making me go up against that thing? Then I walked out from behind the giant rock, cursing. If I don't get good loot after completing this quest, I'll definitely give you a piece of my mind. Don't worry, completing the quest will also have unexpected rewards. Seeing me standing alone in front of her, Qi Xiaoxiao became anxious. Are you a fool? Why didn't you run? But I raised my sword and activated the 5 Thunder True Art, summoning a heavenly thunderbolt that instantly killed the demon beast. Then I turned my head slightly and complained, idiot, when you're saved, you should say thank you first. Yes, from that moment on, you have been helping me, protecting me. The you who sold his precious spirit sword without hesitation to help me establish the Empyrean Alliance. The you who traveled thousands of miles to find me the snacks from my hometown. The you who, when I missed my home, Qi Xiaoxiao knelt down, crying and laughing. You despicable fellow, can't you just let me hate you for the rest of my life? I walked towards Huang Dudu without a care. Hate me if you want, at least you have to stay alive first. You don't really think this is me, do you? I'm watching from the side, just as confused as you are. Damn system. Stop. Host, this is a special Daomingzi clone gift package I prepared for you. The clone not only inherits all the appearances of the host's original save file, but also has a domineering special effect. Just use this controller to control the clone, and I guarantee you'll experience the same thrill as when you were playing the game, feeling the familiar touch in my hand. Ha 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 ha. I couldn't hold it in any longer. I'm on my main account now. What's there to be afraid of? Give me the Myriad Soul banner too. I want to see a river of blood now. The moment I held the banner, a dazzling spiritual light instantly illuminated the entire mountain. Huang Dudu was no longer as confident as before. Her eyes filled with fear as she retreated. Is this really that Daomingzi who looks like a human but never does anything human? Although we're the villains, in front of him, we're like new recruits. Zhang Liang was much calmer than them. Huang Dudu, what the hell is going on? I already said those words are pronounced Huangjai. Is your heart demon out of control? The heart demon stone was already shattered by Qi Xiaoxiao. This pervert swinging women's underwear is probably the real deal. This is the Myriad Soul banner. You uncultured idiot. Taste my 6 paths of reincarnation power. Looking at the nether wheels sweeping towards them, Zhang Liang and the others felt a chill in their hearts. It's over. But as the thick smoke dissipated, they found that they were only slightly dirty. We seem to be fine. That attack looked so powerful. I stared at this scene, dumbfounded, the controller clattering to the ground. You piece of crap. What's going on now? I told you not to let me finish. The clone has your original pressure and appearance, but it also has a small drawback. Its strength is practically 0. Looking at the still grinning system, I instantly lost all my strength and means. You bastard. I'll drag you down with me even if I die today. Host, calm down. If you don't control the clone, these people will get suspicious. I quickly and subtly approached them, and Zhang Liang and the others, seeing that I had stopped moving, family head Zhang, our agreement didn't say we had to deal with Daomingzi. Don't think about backing down now. Don't forget, you also have a reason to overthrow Qi Xiaoxiao. Besides, from my observation, Daomingzi's current state is very strange. The ancestor once told me that Daomingzi is decisive and cruel, and he always takes a life when he strikes. But now, he hasn't killed us directly, so there are only 2 possibilities. First, he has just awakened and his strength is limited. Second, he is not Daomingzi himself at all. It's all just Qi Xiaoxiao's bluff. This analysis made Huang Dudu suddenly realize, family head Zhang is right. Zhang Yuga shed tears of excitement. As expected, my Zhang family still has normal people, and I cursed inwardly. Damn it, how did this old fossil's brain suddenly start working? Then I picked up the controller and mashed the buttons. Whatever, I'll just try my luck. The next second, a vast amount of spiritual energy materialized and rapidly gathered in the clone's palm like a vortex. In a moment, a giant golden dragon burst out from behind the clone. You 2 old fossils, taste my great mighty heavenly dragon. The terrifying pressure slammed Zhang Liang and the other onto the ground. Such a powerful pressure. Are you sure he's not the full-strength Daomingzi? But as soon as Huang Duda finished speaking, the terrifying golden dragon dissipated without warning, and I, seeing that one move wasn't enough, immediately started mashing the controller again. One move isn't enough? Then take another one of my moves. Great Luo divine spell. A giant golden Buddhist seal suddenly condensed, and a dazzling golden light instantly illuminated the mountain, as bright as day. Even though Zhang Liang and the others covered their eyes tightly, they were still blinded and cried out. But after crying for a while, Zhang Liang realized that his eyes didn't hurt at all. He quickly poked the nearby Huang Dudu. Stop screaming. This move doesn't seem to have any damage either. Huang Dudu, who had come to her senses, slammed the ground. Is this bastard playing with us? Seeing that Zhang Liang had noticed, I knew that I couldn't bluff them with just my aura anymore. But then Qi Xiaoxiao suddenly shouted, Sheng, what are you hesitating for? Attack. You're my living ancestor. Just watch the show quietly and don't cause any more trouble. However, this shout completely convinced Zhang Liang that I couldn't kill them now. In that case, I'll take advantage of your weakness and kill you. Several refined spirit tools flew towards me at high speed. Seeing me frozen in place as if I hadn't seen them, Qi Xiaoxiao shouted in panic, idiot, dodge. At this point, I could no longer hide. Let me show you my single for 20 years hand speed. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A. You, get out of here first. I can't fully concentrate with you on me. Under my top tier operation, the clone weaved through the blades and halberds like a dragon. Zhang Liang took a step back in disbelief. He dodged them all. Huang Duda cursed inwardly, you idiot. Dao Mingzi is so cunning. He's clearly playing with you. Plan A didn't work. I have to go with plan B. So she reached out and pulled Zhang Liang. Dao Mingzi's methods are sinister. You have no chance of winning if you keep fighting like this. Then what should we do? Just wait to die. Huang Duda handed him a leaf. Take this, and you can definitely defeat Dao Mingzi. But don't hesitate. You're facing the demon lord Dao Mingzi now. Zhang Liang was stunned by her shout. You're right. As he spoke, he channeled his spiritual fire to light the leaf and took a deep breath. Ah, this is a rare thing. This power is so intoxicating. What did you do? This power doesn't belong to Zhang Liang at all. Huang Dudu sneered. Alliance Master Qi, don't worry. Soon, the entire Empyrean Alliance will enjoy this power. After all, that's what I came here for. But even though the demonic leaf's effect is strong, Zhang Liang definitely won't be able to last long against Dao Mingzi. I have to take this opportunity to complete the mission given to me by the master. And after taking the drug, Zhang Liang instantly perked up. Dao Mingzi, watch me take your life with one blow. Unfortunately, I had already seen this move in the game. I just needed to lean back 180 degrees to easily avoid it. Zhang Liang saw this and quickly followed up with a few more kicks. Don't be complacent. My attack isn't over yet. Completely hyped up. I also forgot my disguise. Old fossil, my operation has just begun. Aura, muda. After a while, Zhang Liang stopped his attack, panting. I've been fighting for so long and haven't even touched your clothes. If you have the guts, fight me head on. A mere traitor has the audacity to talk about a fair fight. Immersed in the ultimate operation, I was also breathing heavily, completely unaware that Qi Xiaoxiao was slowly approaching from behind. Feeling the incredibly familiar aura, Qi Xiaoxiao trembled with excitement. Shen. Just then, Zhang Liang, who had been fighting the air for a long time, completely broke down and leaped towards me. You're going too far. Taste my heavenly meteor flame palm. I still dodged it without any panic. You dare to use a move with such a long startup in front of me? You must be really desperate. And I remember, the recovery time for this move is also very long, right? Zhang Liang's eyes suddenly became clear. Seeing me clench my fist and charge up, trying to run, taste my shoryuken. A powerful uppercut hit him right on the chin, sending Zhang Liang flying. But when a critical hit damage notification popped up, it was my turn to break down. Damn it, a critical hit only does 1 point of damage? What the hell am I playing? At least it's not 0. The host still has a chance. Although the system seemed to be talking nonsense, I had no other choice. I picked up the controller and continued to operate. As long as I don't make any mistakes from now on, even with 1 point of damage, I can still wear down this old fossil. But just as I was concentrating on operating, I suddenly heard someone call from behind. Sheng? I frowned and said impatiently, who is it? Can't you see it's a critical moment? Don't call me. The system turned its head curiously. Who called you? Hearing the exclamation, I subconsciously turned my head to look. You bastard. I finally found you before I die. Seeing the person, I instantly broke out in a cold sweat. Qi Xiaoxiao, how did she find me? This murderous look. Is she planning to kill me now? Whatever, I'll just play dumb. Alliance Master Qi, what are you talking about? Are you mistaking me for? Oh crap, I forgot that Zhang Sangai has already been kicked out. Just as I was frantically thinking about what to do, Qi Xiaoxiao finally couldn't hold on any longer and fell into my arms. To die in your arms like this, it's not bad. With that, she closed her eyes and went silent. I quickly propped her up. Wake up. At least wait until I'm done fighting before you play dead. The system, with its scanning function enabled, quickly stopped me. Host, stop shaking her. Qi Xiaoxiao's health is about to hit 0. With the system's reminder, I finally noticed that Qi Xiaoxiao's chest was still bleeding profusely. I casually found an empty spot and put her down. So it's just a serious injury and she's unconscious. If she found out, I'd be in real danger. This action made the system speechless. Are you even human? She's your great disciple. I picked up the controller and snorted disdainfully. big deal? It's like you've only known me for a day. Don't worry, at my current pace, I can wear down this old man in 2 hours. But as soon as I finished speaking, the system said nonchalantly, I forgot to tell you, once Qi Xiaoxiao dies, the mission to protect this sect will be considered a failure. Why didn't you say so earlier? At the same time, the clone, which had been constantly dodging, suddenly moved forward and gave Zhang Liang a loud slap. It made the 300-year-old man cry with grievance. Damn it, how dare you humiliate me like this, you demon lord. Zhang Liang lit 2 demonic leaves and took a huge hit, instantly transforming into a muscle-bound monster. With a rip, his clothes were torn to shreds. Haha, this is the power bestowed by the demon god. The system sighed with regret. The great elder of the Empyrean Alliance. To think he would indulge in the power of the demonic path. Is this the time to be sighing about this? The clone can barely withstand his pressure now. It's impossible to defeat him in a short time. I have to wait until the drug's effect wears off. Damn system, how much longer can Qi Xiaoxiao last? The system sighed helplessly. Less than a quarter of an hour. And who are you calling a damn system? This system is the almighty cultivator system. However, under immense pressure, I had no time to deal with her. Since there's not enough time, I can only take a gamble. Up, up, down, down, right, right, left, right, B, 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 A. I saw the clone jump up. Old fossil, have you ever seen a palm technique that descends from the heavens? Zhang Liang looked up and roared. Even if you are Dao Mingzi, I am not afraid now. The next instant, a giant golden palm slammed down. Zhang Liang gathered all his strength to resist, but the moment he touched the palm, he found that not only did it have no killing power, it was even disintegrating on its own. By the time the palm print completely dissipated, I was already carrying Qi Xiaoxiao and had run 2 miles away. Luckily, this old fossil has no brain, so I could escape so smoothly. Hey, I didn't expect the host to be so tsundere. You said you wouldn't care, but you actually took Qi Xiaoxiao with you. I was just trying to complete the mission. The system gave me a playful wink. In view of the host's brave performance, the system has activated a hidden mission. Protect Qi Xiaoxiao. No, I can't even protect myself now. What's the use of giving me this extra mission? Host, don't be so excited. Although this hidden mission is difficult, as long as you can complete it, you can get the golden technique 9 Heavens Divine Thunder Art. Hearing this, my heart suddenly jumped. Isn't this the hidden technique I couldn't even find in the game? You're so kind to use it as a quest reward. After all, it's a hidden mission, so it's normal for the reward to be generous. Now, I had a nascent soul cultivation but no combat techniques, so I could only run around like a rat. If I could get the 9 Heavens Divine Thunder Art, I should have some ability to protect myself. I immediately stopped and put Qi Xiaoxiao down. I'll trust you one last time. If you dare to screw me over again, don't blame me for turning on you. This system has always been true to its word. You can rest assured. Just then, Qi Xiaoxiao suddenly coughed up another large mouthful of blood. This scared the system so much that it jumped up and started pounding my head. Hurry up. If this continues, Qi Xiaoxiao is really going to die. What are you rushing for? Can't you see I'm trying to find a way? With her current injuries, ordinary methods are no longer effective. Perhaps only the legendary soul continuing golden pill, which can bring the dead back to life, can be of some use. I glanced at the system behind me, then teleported behind her and started patting her down. The materials for refining the golden pill are very common. The cultivator's storage bags I took before are all on you. They must have all the medicinal herbs. Pervert. If you're looking for something, then look for it. What are you doing grabbing my clothes? Purple crystal core, night poria, dragon bone, oyster, licorice. I told you we must have all the ingredients. If you have them, then hurry up and refine them. But at this moment, I was in a dilemma again. This pill nourishes injuries with another person's soul power. To put it bluntly, it's a life for a life. The materials on hand are just auxiliary materials for forming the pill. The thing that really works is the soul of an earthly immortal level master. But in this desolate place, where can we find the soul of an earthly immortal? Zhang Yuga sighed with regret. What a pity. It seems the Alliance Master is really going to die. Hearing this voice, I and the system subconsciously exchanged a look. Then we turned sharply to Zhang Yuga. He, you, why are you all looking at me? This look, it's like you want to eat me. Lord Dao Mingzi, spare me. I'm old and ugly. I can't be refined into a good pill. Cut the crap. I'll know if it's useful after I try. And I just happen to want to see if that bug still exists. As I was thinking, I threw all the auxiliary materials into the pot and slammed the lid shut with a bang. Alright, let the refining begin. Seeing me casually start refining with a broken iron pot, the system couldn't help but worry. Can such a crude furnace really refine a soul-continuing golden pill? Shut up. If you distract me again, I'll stuff you in and refine you together. The system huffed and raised its head. I'm just kindly reminding you, and you're so fierce. We'll see how you beg me when you can't refine it. 20 seconds before the pill was formed, Zhang Yuga was already starting to get a good flavor. 10 seconds left. I almost couldn't suppress the violent spiritual energy in the pot. Until the last second, a large amount of waste gas suddenly poured out of the furnace. Now, I used all my strength and flung the lid open. On the other side, outside the treasury door, Huang Duda rushed out in a panic. Chunan saw this and quickly went forward to ask, "Did you defeat Alliance Master Qi?" "Huang Dudu, how is the situation inside?" You bunch of trash. I already told you, my name is not Huang Dudu." Then she suppressed her anger. "Now is not the time to be on names. We need to complete the Demon Lord's mission as soon as possible, so she immediately put on an excited expression. That bitch Chi Xiao Xiao has already been defeated by us. All you have to do is guard here and wait for family head Zhang to come out. Hearing this, the crowd burst into cheers, and Ran, however, collapsed weakly on the ground. How is that possible? Master actually lost. Little girl, don't be so easily fooled by a few words. Yiling glanced at her with a calm expression. If senior sister was really defeated by them, why would that old hag be in such a hurry to leave? So senior sister is definitely not dead. At most, they're in a stalemate. Hearing this, and Ran immediately stood up with admiration in her eyes. As expected, Aunt Master still knows Master's strength best. I was just too worried. Yiling turned her head and snorted proudly. I'm not confident in senior sister's strength. I'm just confident in Master. Aren't you being a bit too much of a love-struck fool? But if it's that guy, it does make one feel strangely at ease. Alright, no matter what the situation is over there, we can't just sit here and wait to die. But we've lost all our spiritual energy now. What can we do? Don't forget, I'm a spirit soul. I'm just temporarily trapped in this shell by that evil dragon. I just need to try a little harder, just a little bit more, and I can leave my body. Your move looks a bit too creepy. I'm going back to the underworld to get reinforcements now. My body and soul are connected. You have to watch it carefully. Watching Yiling's departing figure, and Ran sighed helplessly. The sect is in such a crisis, and all I can do is guard Aunt Master's body. I need strength. I must become stronger. At the same time, Huang Dudu arrived at the Empyrean Alliance's spirit vein unimpeded. Without Qi Xiao Xiao and the other elders' protection, entering the spirit vein is indeed a piece of cake. Now, as long as I plant the Demon Lord's seed, the entire Empyrean Alliance will completely submit to the Demon Lord's feet. A disciple couldn't help but ask the captain next to him in a low voice. It's been so long. Why hasn't the family head made a move? How should I know? Let's just stay here and watch. But as soon as the captain finished speaking, he noticed a black smoke drifting around them. Hey, do you smell something strange? My body is so hot. I'm about to break through. The unprepared captain was instantly sent flying by the airwave. Then, more and more people began to show abnormalities. Roars echoed continuously at the treasury entrance. My body. I'm losing control of myself. And Rand saw this and quickly held her breath. What on earth is happening? Where is this demonic energy coming from? And the two family heads, who knew a little about the situation, instantly realized that this was the effect of the soul-reaping demonic leaf. No wonder Huang Duda left in such a hurry. She must be using the Empyrean Alliance's spirit vein to cultivate the soul-reaping demonic tree. No, we have to stop her. Otherwise, even if we seize the position of Alliance Master, we'll just be puppets of the demonic sect. The two of them rushed with all their might and soon saw Huang Duda guarding the demonic tree. You despicable old hag. Didn't we agree that you only wanted a portion of the Empyrean Alliance's spirit vein mines? With that, he didn't wait for Huang Dudu's reply and swung his knife at the demonic tree. Huang Dudu instantly teleported in front of the demonic tree, grabbing Huang Pian's knife. Are you trying to break our agreement? You're growing the soul-reaping demonic tree here. Huang Dudu chuckled. Since I can have it all, why should I share it with you? Chu Nan's figure suddenly appeared behind her. Then don't blame us for being merciless. Huang Dudu snorted with contempt, turned around, and with a casual wave of her hand, she suppressed Chu Nan, making him unable to move. Most of your spiritual energy is used to suppress the effect of the demonic leaf. You want to defeat me in this state? You overconfident old fools. Get out of my way. The two of them steadied themselves and gritted their teeth. We can't delay any longer. Let's risk it all. Huang Duda glanced at the two of them coldly. I don't even need to personally deal with pampered and useless family heads like you. Your own disciples seem to be eager to have a go with you. Hearing this, the two of them were shocked and quickly turned to look behind them. And at this moment, outside the treasury, the disciples of the five families were already fighting among themselves, and no one was paying attention to Ran. Good, I can take this chance to leave. But just as she stood up, a disciple roared and charged at her, and Ran dodged the first attack sideways, but she was powerless to dodge the second slash that followed. Unable to use her spiritual energy, she could only choose to take the hit with her back and, in the process, break the restraint of the spirit locking rope. The moment her spiritual energy was restored, she immediately used the flowing water sword intent, piercing the man's head with one blow. But the next second, the wound on her back made her cough up a large mouthful of blood, and her body fell weakly to her knees. However, this commotion attracted the attention of a large number of demon-possessed disciples nearby, who all turned and rushed towards her. Looking at Yiling's dull body, a trace of fear flashed in Rant's eyes. I'm seriously injured now. I can't fight them head-on. But recalling Yiling's instructions when she left, her determination was renewed. Protecting Aunt Master's body and waiting for reinforcements is the only thing a weak person like me can do now. I will protect the Empyrean Alliance in my own way. At the same time, just as the pill was about to be refined, I suddenly flung the lid off the pot. A lustrous soul-continuing golden pill slowly fell into my hand. The system was dumbfounded. You canceled the refining before the time was up, right? Why was it still successful? I raised an eyebrow and chuckled. Of course, it's by using a bug in this game. After many experiments, I found that if you cancel the refining in the last 0.25 seconds of the opening time, you can successfully refine it 100% of the time. Not only that, but even what? Hurry up and tell me. Even the materials won't be consumed. I relied on this bug to refine a whole whole backpack of top-grade pills back then. At this moment, Zhang Yuge was already sweating profusely with fear. You bastard Dao Mingzi, I was almost refined into a pill by you. I will definitely repay this grudge 100-fold in the future. But for now, I should just save my own life. Congratulations, Lord Dao Mingzi, on successfully refining the golden pill. You shouldn't need my help anymore, right? I stared at the pill in my hand and pondered for a long time. The quality of this pill doesn't look too good. What if it can't save Qi Xiao Xiao? I have no choice. I'll have to trouble you to refine it a few more times. Zhang Yuge turned to run but was caught by me. Lord Dao Mingzi, I think one pill is enough. Such a precise timing operation. What if you make a mistake and waste the materials? I couldn't be bothered to waste my breath on him and forcefully stuffed him back into the pot. Don't worry, I'm very experienced with timing. Zhang Yuge pounded the lid frantically. No, I haven't lived long enough yet. Shut up, shut up. If you affect my performance, it's not me who will die. Let the refining begin. This scene completely numbed the system. You really are a complete bastard. Time flew by. I held a large handful of golden pills and frowned with dissatisfaction. The quality of these pills looks okay, but they're still not up to my ideal standard. As I spoke, I couldn't help but glance at Zhang Yuge again. Zhang Yuge, who was half dead, instantly pounced and hugged my leg. Lord Dao Mingzi, please let me go. If you keep refining like this, even if I'm not consumed, I'll be scared to death and my primordial spirit will collapse. I nodded thoughtfully. That's true. If your primordial spirit collapses, I won't have such a convenient material anymore. That's right, that's right. Just as Zhang Yuge was about to celebrate his escape, I stuffed the soul-continuing golden pill into his mouth. Before he could react to what had happened, his primordial spirit had returned to its peak state. Very good. Since you've recovered, you can continue to be a refining material. You bastard. Just as I was about to continue refining, Qi Xiao Xiao suddenly coughed up another large mouthful of blood. The system saw this and quickly urged, hurry up and give her the pill. She's really not going to make it. Hearing this, I quickly let go of Zhang Yuge and pulled Qi Xiao Xiao into my arms. Then I picked out a golden pill with the best appearance and gave it to her. Although it's not the best quality pill, it should be enough to save your life. However, after a long time, Qi Xiao Xiao's aura was still incredibly weak. Why isn't she showing any signs of waking up? This soul-continuing golden pill is really not that great. Since quality isn't enough, I'll have to use quantity. Eat all of them. I don't believe this won't save you. Stop. Host, are you trying to choke her to death? But as soon as the system finished speaking, Qi Xiao Xiao spat out another large mouthful of blood and slowly opened her eyes. Shen, it really is you. I didn't expect that at the most critical moment for the Empyrean Alliance. It would be you, this evil star, who would save everything. Maybe we were all wrong before. You have some unspeakable secret. Qi Xiao Xiao spoke with self-pity for a long time, then looked up and found that I wasn't listening at all. I've already saved the person. Hurry up and give me the quest reward. The system completely broke down. In such a touching scene, all you can think about is that little reward. Do you have a heart or a brain? I started searching her body impatiently. Don't give me that nonsense. Hurry up and give me the 9 Heavens Divine Thunder art. I know. I've told you so many times not to pull off my clothes. Ding! Congratulations, host, for completing the hidden mission. Reward, Divine Grade Technique, 9 Heavens Divine Thunder art. I finally have a technique. I finally have some ability to protect myself in this dog-eat-dog cultivation world. Just as I was excited, a roar suddenly came from behind me. You little brat Chu Sheng. So you've been playing with me all this time. Today, I will destroy your soul and body to avenge my ancestors' blood feud. Qi Xiao Xiao struggled to get up and stood in front of me. This old thing has absorbed the power of the soul-reaping demonic leaf. You must be careful when dealing with him. But this time, not only did I not run, I even laughed happily. What are you laughing at, you brat? Are you scared silly by me? I just got a divine grade technique. I was just looking for someone to practice on. I'll use you as a touchstone for my technique. The moment I finished speaking, golden thunder rumbled in the sky. Zhang Liang looked at the sky in horror and disbelief. This is the legendary, long-lost peerless technique, the 9 Heavens Divine Thunder art. Hearing this, I raised an eyebrow in surprise. Not bad, old man. You actually recognize my high-grade stuff? Impossible. You could never have mastered such a skill. That's none of your business. Divine thunder, come forth. Countless bolts of divine thunder instantly gathered in my palm, then transformed into a golden dragon and roared towards Zhang Liang. Zhang Liang saw this and immediately dodged, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't escape the dragon's pounce. Am I really going to die here for no reason? Boom! A terrifying explosion instantly spread throughout the forest. Then I and the unharmed Zhang Liang were both stunned. That was just a warm-up. Now for the real thing. Taste my 9 Heavens Divine Thunder. Invincible Divine Thunder. Little Thunder. However, after I made a series of grand gestures, the 9 Heavens Divine Thunder still dissipated on its own before it even landed. Damn system, where's my Divine Thunder? You screwed me over again, didn't you? The system waved its hand calmly. What does it have to do with me? This system has always been honest. You're the one who didn't read the technique's description. I angrily opened the system panel. Aren't techniques supposed to be directly inputted into the brain? Why is there a description? My eyes quickly scanned through the long, rambling text, only to find a line of small print at the bottom of the panel. Note, thunder can only be condensed above the 9 heavens and cannot attack below the 9 heavens. And Zhang Liang, seeing me stop drop my attack and shout at the air, regained his confidence. You brat, it seems you haven't mastered this technique yet. Go to hell. Just as Zhang Liang was about to attack me with all his might, a sharp sword Qi suddenly slashed out from the side, sending him flying dozens of meters away. Qi Xiaoxiao stood in front of me with her sword and said coldly, I said, whoever touches him dies. You're already seriously injured. How can you still block my attack? Qi Xiaoxiao didn't answer. After forcefully suppressing the urge to cough up blood, she sent me a voice transmission. My strength hasn't fully recovered yet. We only have a chance if we attack together. Before Qi Xiaoxiao could explain her plan, I raised my hand and grabbed her shoulder. Run with me. If you're not recovered, what are you doing bluffing? This action instantly made Qi Xiaoxiao's imagination run wild. Every time I'm in danger, you really do come to my rescue. Little did she know, my mind was filled with unbroadcastable curses. You idiot woman. If you die now, how am I supposed to complete the subsequent quests? This time, Zhang Liang didn't rush to chase after us. None of you will escape today. Black Flame Prison. A scorching black flame instantly blocked our path. This is a barrier. After successfully stopping us, Zhang Liang stuffed a demonic leaf into his mouth. You actually forced me to use the soul-devouring demonic leaf again. Today, I will torture you all to death. I never would have thought this old thing still had demonic leaves. This guy is a cheater. Damn system, ban his account. He's just using the soul-devouring demonic leaf to temporarily boost his strength. He'll suffer a strong backlash after the effect wears off. If anyone should be banned, it's you, who abuses bugs. The system's words suddenly reminded me of something. A strong backlash after the effect wears off. I think I have a way to deal with him. Xiao, hold him off for me. Tell me when he's about to use a demonic leaf. With that, I ignored everything else and dodged into the pile of rocks behind me. Zhang Liang saw this and burst into laughter. He pushes you out to die whenever there's danger. Is this the man you've been pining for, Alliance Master? I feel sorry for you. Qi Xiaoxiao wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth and said coldly, it's not your place, you traitor, to tell me what to do. Then, a tyrannical blood energy instantly erupted from her body. Chu Sheng, this is the last time I'll trust you. Zhang Liang snorted contemptuously. You stubborn fool. In that case, die. The moment the demonic energy and blood energy collided, a terrifying shockwave from the battle instantly swept through the entire forest, and I, hiding behind the pile of rocks, was frantically clicking on the system page. Where's the trading interface? Come on out. Ding! Warning! Trading is prohibited in a combat state. I directly ignored the warning page and continued to poke the system panel. The system saw this and couldn't help but try to persuade me. Stop clicking. It's useless. As a veteran gamer, you should know that trading is prohibited in combat. My face was dark, but my hands didn't stop. Of course, I know that, but if I want to live, I have to take a risk. During our conversation, Qi Xiaoxiao had already fallen into a disadvantage. Although she tried desperately to resist, she was ultimately sent flying by a palm strike from Zhang Liang, who had consumed 4 demonic leaves. She struggled to get up but couldn't help but vomit a large mouthful of blood. Although I was also extremely anxious, my eyes never left the trading interface. Just hold on a little longer. I'll have a way soon. The system saw this and couldn't help but pat my shoulder and urge, hey, Qi Xiaoxiao's injuries haven't recovered yet. Can't you go and help fight? Shut up. I only have 0.02 seconds to operate from the time the trading box appears to when the warning pops up. The system was startled by my loud roar. What do you mean? Just then, Qi Xiaoxiao stood up shakily with her sword. She kept repeating in a low voice, one more move. I have to block one more move for him. This completely one-sided situation made Zhang Liang laugh even more wildly. Alliance Master Qi, you never would have expected this day, would you? But unfortunately, a bug should just stay on the ground. Qi Xiaoxiao leaped back, narrowly avoiding the incoming black flame. But the next second, the black flame suddenly changed direction and swept towards her. With no way to dodge, Qi Xiaoxiao could only raise her sword to block. However, she had just barely blocked the attack and hadn't even had time to stabilize herself when a large foot came down on her from the air. Although Qi Xiaoxiao had already sensed it, her exhausted body was powerless to react. She could only watch as Zhang Liang pinned her to the ground. This scene made the system unable to sit still. You bastard, how much longer are you going to dawdle? Qi Xiaoxiao is really about to die. I know, don't get in my way. At the same time, Zhang Liang casually condensed a black flame spirit sword and stabbed at Qi Xiaoxiao with a laugh. From now on, the Empyrean Alliance belongs to my Zhang family. Qi Xiaoxiao snorted coldly with unwillingness. Just as she was silently waiting for death, Zhang Liang's slashing motion paused, and his sturdy body began to rapidly shrink as if deflating. Damn it, the power of the demonic leaf is being consumed faster and faster. Hearing this, a glint of hope flashed in Qi Xiaoxiao's eyes. But before she could make a move, Zhang Liang took out another demonic leaf and stuffed it into his mouth. After I take this demonic leaf, I'll send you on your way. Finally getting my chance, my spirit was lifted, and I jabbed my finger at the trading interface in front of me. Now, give it to me. The moment the initiate trade button was pressed, Zhang Liang unexpectedly spat out a large mouthful of blood. He sniffed, then hesitantly chewed on the demonic leaf in his mouth. The taste of this demonic leaf is a bit off. The next second, a miserable wail instantly echoed through the forest. What the hell is this thing? He spat out the unknown object in his mouth with a contorted face. instantly attracting a swarm of flies. What is this thing? This is my sock that I haven't washed in 7 days. Are you satisfied with the sourness? The system heard this and immediately threw up. Don't say it. It's disgusting. And Zhang Liang had no time to care about this. The huge side effect made it difficult for him to even stand. The demonic leaf. Where's my demonic leaf? I took out the demonic leaf I had traded for with the stinky sock. This is a prohibited item. I'll have to trouble myself to destroy it for you. Let's see you act so arrogant now. Wait until the side effects of the demonic leaf fully kick in. I can crush you with one finger. Zhang Liang's forehead veins throbbed with anger. You bastard. You just stole one demonic leaf. Do you think you can stop me with that? I still have plenty of demonic leaves on me. However, just as he was about to swallow, he found that the demonic leaf in his hand had turned into a ball of stinky socks again. At the same time, my extremely punchable voice came from his ear. You don't think I can only trade once, do you? Zhang Liang was so angry that he directly grabbed a handful of demonic leaves. I don't believe it. You can't possibly trade for so many at once. The next second, Zhang Liang was so overwhelmed by the sudden, intense sour smell from his hand that his eyes went dark and he foamed at the mouth. And I was waving the demonic leaves in my hand and laughing wildly. Sorry, I can indeed trade for all the demonic leaves. Even the system was stunned by this scene. How on earth did you do that? I waved my hand humbly. It's just a little trick I discovered. In this game, as long as you initiate a trade with a character when they are holding an item and about to use it, it will trigger a bug and forcefully exchange the items in both parties' hands. I used this bug to steal a lot of important items from NPCs in the early game. The system didn't expect another new game loophole. Are there really that many bugs in this world? Time is getting more and more tight. Just then, Zhang Liang's body suddenly began to tremble violently. Bastard, give me back the demonic leaves. Faced with this sudden attack, I just leaned back slightly and easily dodged it. Zhang Liang was stunned. How is that possible? A mere ant like you can dodge my attack? I hummed a little tune and paced back and forth. With your current speed, any Foundation establishment cultivator could easily dodge you. Zhang Liang heard this and immediately roared, I'll fight you. He endured the bleeding from his 7 orifices and forcefully condensed several large hands from the black flame. Faced with this imposing, life or death move, I just yawned boredly. Another slow, trashy move to pad out the numbers. I can easily dodge all the attacks even with my eyes closed. My taunts came one after another, but a smug glint appeared in my eyes. As long as I can exhaust his remaining power like this, I will be the final victor. Just then, the already weakened Zhang Liang finally couldn't hold on any longer and spat out another large mouthful of blood. The old fossil is finally giving out, but this time, Zhang Liang was not provoked by my trash talk. He just calmly wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. I didn't expect to fall to such a state one day. Since it's a dead end, none of you will have it easy. Today, I will have the Alliance Master of the Empyrean Alliance accompany me in death. Looking at the black flame hands rapidly approaching her, Qi Xiaoxiao wanted to escape but didn't even have the strength to get up. The system saw this and quickly urged, stop running. Go back and save Qi Xiaoxiao. I'm not confident I can take so many attacks right now. Besides, I've already completed the mission to save her. You're still thinking about the mission at a time like this? Have you forgotten how hard Qi Xiaoxiao fought to help you just now? The system's words instantly reminded me of ever since Qi Xiaoxiao saw my true form. She seemed to have been fighting for me with her life, even almost dying for it, and still propping up her seriously injured body to stand in front of me. Qi Xiaoxiao, you owe me big time for this. The moment before the black flame hands hit Qi Xiaoxiao, I managed to protect her in my arms. A violent explosion suddenly sounded, shaking the entire forest. Zhang Liang knelt on the ground and laughed at the sky. You all have to die. However, he had only laughed for 2 seconds when he saw a figure slowly stand up in the smoke. You dare to hurt me, Dao Mingzi? You will die today. Seeing me use my body to block the fatal attack for her, Qi Xiaoxiao immediately shouted nervously, You, how are you? I looked at the wound on my back with lingering fear. I almost thought I was really going to die. Luckily, that old fossil's power was almost exhausted. How is that possible? You're just a small cultivator. How could you possibly take that blow? I stood up and interrupted him impatiently. Cut the crap. The demonic leaf's effect should be completely gone by now, right? Next, it's time to settle the score with you. Zhang Liang subconsciously took 2 steps back. You, what are you going to do? However, before he could finish, my figure suddenly appeared in front of him. I punched him without mercy, instantly contorting his old face. As he flew backwards, he shouted unwillingly, Impossible, absolutely impossible. Impossible my ass. Old fossil, you'd better remember this. This punch is for my socks. Zhang Liang was stunned. Socks? Before he could recover, I punched out his remaining few teeth. This punch is for my clothes, and my messed up hairstyle, my handsome face. The system, listening to me drone on, was speechless. So it's all for yourself. You don't mention Qi Xiaoxiao at all, do you? But as soon as she finished complaining, she saw Qi Xiaoxiao, with her head propped up, shouting with hard eyes, as expected of Sheng. He's so cool. This one is a lost cause too. While thinking, Zhang Liang finally couldn't take the serious injuries and fell to the ground, spitting out a large mouthful of blood. I, on the other hand, was panting heavily with a dark face. Why is this old bastard so tough? He's not dead yet, is he? Just as I was about to deliver a finishing blow, a sweet voice suddenly sounded from behind me. Then, a soft body and a fragrant scent rushed into my arms. Qi Xiaoxiao looked up with admiration. Sheng, you're still so strong and so handsome. I couldn't help but puff out my chest humbly. You flatter me, you flatter me. You don't have to hold on so tight. If this old thing hadn't drugged himself to death, how could I have beaten him? But Qi Xiaoxiao didn't care about that and instead noticed the wound on my back. You're injured? With that, without asking for my opinion, she started to check my clothes carefully. Stop it. I'm fine. You don't need to check. And I looked down at Qi Xiaoxiao, who had a stalker-like expression. Do you really look like you're trying to check me? I'm too embarrassed to even call you out on it. Just as the two were relaxing and teasing each other, the ground beneath their feet suddenly began to tremble violently. The solid ground churned like a tide, rolling in waves towards them. What's going on? Is it an earthquake? Qi Xiaoxiao, however, pointed behind me in horror. Sheng, look over there. I followed her finger and was instantly met with the sight of a giant tree that blotted out the sun, filling my entire vision. What the hell? What is this thing? Qi Xiaoxiao's expression gradually became serious. This is the soul-reaping demonic tree that produces demonic leaves. If we don't stop it soon, it will devour the entire Dragon Vein underground. By then, all the areas within the Empyrean Alliance's sphere of influence will become a barren wasteland. Even all the surrounding living beings will be completely controlled by the demonic tree. Qi Xiaoxiao suddenly grabbed my hand. Speaking of which, I finally understand your profound meaning. Sheng, you saw through the hidden dangers within the Empyrean Alliance, so you deliberately left me to let the conflict erupt. Now that the internal traitors have been dealt with, let's join forces and defeat the invading enemies, just like in the past. Not quite. Looking at the adoring Qi Xiaoxiao, I instantly broke out in a cold sweat. Damn it, I pulled off the tough guy act too well. Now I can't find a suitable excuse. Just as my brain was spinning rapidly, Qi Xiaoxiao suddenly tore open a spatial rift, pulled me in, and dived headfirst. You must be thinking the same thing. I'll take you there now. Wait, I haven't agreed yet. At the same time, outside the treasury, Ran was panting heavily with her sword. Junior uncle, I'm sorry. Clang. Without the support of her long sword, Ran instantly collapsed, her body limp. Looking at the unconscious and continuously approaching sect members in front of her, a strong sense of unwillingness rose in her heart. Even if I give it my all, is this all I can do? She glanced at the body of Yiling she was protecting, and a fierce look flashed in her eyes. She suddenly stood up and slapped her dantian. In that case, I'll use my life to buy some final time. As energy rapidly poured into Ran's dantian, familiar figures flashed before her eyes one by one. Goodbye, Master, the Empyrean Alliance, and that bastard Chu. However, before she could finish her final farewell, a crack suddenly appeared in the sky. A heart-wrenching wail came from within. No! Thump! A large cloud of dust instantly swept across the wasteland. I huddled in Qi Xiaoxiao's arms and roared in terror. Are you crazy? Don't you know you can die from falling from such a height? Sheng, you're so funny. With your strength, how could you be afraid of a little height? Seeing the two people in the dust, Ran immediately dissipated the spiritual energy in her dantian. She flew over and hugged Qi Xiaoxiao, rubbing her head against her and crying out in grievance. Master, you're finally here. Qi Xiaoxiao looked at her great disciple with admiration. Ran, you really didn't disappoint me. Getting her master's approval, Ran subconsciously wanted to be modest, but when she turned her head, she saw me, still huddled in Qi Xiaoxiao's arms, not getting down. After a 2.5-second daze, Ran, without warning, yanked me down. How can you be so intimate with my master? Get down here. Do you think I'm enjoying this? Seeing the two acting like old acquaintances, Qi Xiaoxiao was also a bit confused. How does Ran know Sheng? Just as she was about to ask, her peripheral vision caught a glimpse of the Yiling doll next to her. How did Yiling become like this? Ran heard this and immediately stopped her squabble to explain. Aunt Master said she was going back to the underworld to get reinforcements, but she hasn't come back yet. I sat down cross-legged and snorted coldly. Did Yiling just run away? Nonsense. Don't compare Aunt Master's great character to yours. I couldn't be bothered with Ran and roughly scanned the surroundings. Aren't there a few too many people in your Empyrean Alliance? We're completely surrounded. Hearing this, Qi Xiaoxiao immediately drew her sword and stood in front of them. They're just low-level disciples. Leave them to me. The moment her words fell, Qi Xiaoxiao's gaze suddenly sharpened. As her long sword thrust out, countless sword shadows flew out like long spears, accurately piercing the joints of the disciples' limbs. In just a few breaths, the ground was studded with immobilized disciples. When did you become so merciful? I rubbed my chin in confusion. They are, after all, disciples of my Empyrean Alliance. I should still focus on controlling them. With that, she looked up at the soul-reaping demonic tree not far away. The real enemy is that demonic cultivator hiding on the tree. If we don't kill that fat-headed, big-eared ugly monster on the tree, these disciples will never stop attacking. I nodded in agreement as I listened to Qi Xiaoxiao's explanation. So I won't. So that's it. Before I could finish, I saw Qi Xiaoxiao grab my arm excitedly. Then let's join forces and kill them together. Don't you always make decisions for me? Qi Xiaoxiao directly ignored my protest and turned to Ran. I'll leave Yiling's body to you. Then, like a dump truck, she dragged me through the crowd of people blocking the way. But after not going far, she found that the number of disciples was far greater than she had imagined, and their strength had also increased a lot. Before she could think of a countermeasure, 3 familiar figures suddenly charged at her at high speed. Qi Xiaoxiao's face face became even more ugly. Even you have been controlled? Feeling the three of them fighting with no regard for their lives, she couldn't help but curse inwardly. It seems I can't subdue them without hurting them. Just then, I suddenly shouted, "Xiao Xiao, behind you." Seeing Huang Pian suddenly attack from behind, Qi Xiao Xiao was shocked. Damn it, I can't dodge. Just as she was gathering her spiritual energy to block, my figure suddenly appeared and sent Huang flying with a single punch. Qi Xiao Xiao saw this and happily pounced into my arms. "I knew you would help me, Sheng." I blushed and denied it stubbornly. "That was just a subconscious action, and we don't have time to chat now." Qi Xiao Xiao took out a talisman and sighed. "I have no choice. I can only use a killing move to open a path." A crimson blood energy suddenly erupted. Just as she was about to force out a mouthful of heart's blood, an ethereal voice suddenly sounded. "Senior sister, why are you always so impatient?" And Ran looked up at the person and cheered excitedly. "Aunt Master." Yiling's lips curved into a faint smile. "Don't be in such a hurry to show your trump card. My reinforcements have arrived." She floated in midair, her eyes smiling, her face full of pride, waiting to be praised. But what responded to her was my and Qi Xiao Xiao's confused gazes, because apart from the lonely Yiling floating there, not to mention a large army of reinforcements, there wasn't even a ghost of a shadow around. I angrily grabbed Yiling's ankle and pulled her down. Then I poked her head and questioned her sternly. "Where are the reinforcements? Where the hell are the reinforcements you called for?" Yiling covered her head and pointed at her feet with a grieved look. "The reinforcements are right below us." I glanced at the empty ground below and was about to continue when the entire mountain peak suddenly began to tremble violently. The next second, a skinny, withered hand burst out of the ground. With a series of hisses, all sorts of ghosts and monsters, holding sharp weapons, revealed their true forms, rushing towards the controlled disciples. This spectacular scene instantly stunned me. "Is this the legendary million-strong ghost army?" Yiling flew over and wrapped her arms around my neck, softly asking for praise. "I helped out this time, right?" Having recovered, I said calmly, "Not bad." But this scene, in Qi Xiao Xiao's eyes, instantly made her feel annoyed. So under the 2's gazes, Qi Xiao Xiao forcefully squeezed in between them and pulled me to the side with a slap. Then she pointed at me and said seriously, "Now is not the time for catching up. We have to take this opportunity to go up and destroy the demonic tree." Yiling crossed her arms and snorted indignantly. "You just don't want to see me being close to Master. You're so prim and proper." However, as soon as she finished speaking, Qi Xiao Xiao appeared in front of her with her sword. "Little Yiling, what did you just say?" "And nothing. Senior sister is right. The ghost army from the underworld has limited time in the mortal world. We must act quickly." Hearing this, I let out a long sigh. It's come to this. There's no other way. "Everyone, follow me and charge." Looking at the imposing charging team, and Ran could no longer hold on and collapsed to the ground. "This is all I can do." I and the other three quickly rushed up the tree trunk, with the ghost army keeping the Empyrean Alliance disciples busy. We didn't climb far before a controlled disciple suddenly attacked from the side. The lagging Qi Xiao Xiao reacted quickly and cut him down with a single stroke, but before she could turn her sword, another disciple roared and charged at my face. Yiling, not to be outdone, met him with a knee, sending the disciple flying. This feeling of being protected made me smile with satisfaction. I never thought these unfilial disciples would make me feel so at ease one day. As I was sighing, the system suddenly appeared again. "Trash host, I can already feel the aura of the large fragment in the demonic tree. Just chop this tree down, and you can get the large fragment directly. What do you think? Simple, right? Chop down the tree? Didn't you see how big this tree is? Simple. I'll probably be old and dead by the time I'm done chopping it down." Just as I was raging at the system, Qi Xiao Xiao's voice suddenly sounded. "Sheng, we've reached the top of the tree." Then, I heard Huang Dudu, with her back to everyone, let out a sharp, cat-scratching a blackboard-like laugh. "Soon, the demonic energy will cover the entire Empyrean Alliance. By then, the Empyrean Alliance will be completely mine. You fat-headed, big-eared old hag. You dare to use my spirit vein to grow a poisonous tree? Have you never been beaten before?" Huang Dudu, who was immersed in her fantasy, heard the curse and instantly turned around, staring at the three people not far away. "You've come this far, and you still want to turn the tables? Then I'll teach you what it means to be the winner takes all." The moment the branches shot out, Qi Xiao Xiao instantly teleported in front of me. She swung her long sword, instantly shattering all the branches. Little did she know, this was just Huang Dudu's feint. The real attack was the branch that grew silently behind me. I saw Huang Dudu suddenly clench her right hand, and a large number of branches instantly shot towards my heart. By the time I sensed the danger, it was already too late to dodge. At this critical moment, Yiling's figure suddenly appeared, blocked the fatal blow.